and tonight this gentleman will be making his network television debut. This is his most recent album right here. It's called Spirit of Love. We're very pleased to welcome Majek Feshek.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your geographical location. I am your host, aka Electricity. Thank you for joining this wonderful and glorious broadcast for today. I have with me special guest, Mr. Ade Edwin Adai. I will give the floor to him soon, so I just need to thank you for coming on the broadcast and for honoring the invitation. And this broadcast program is being heard in other YouTube platforms. So, and we're here to discuss the issue, or as the topic says, your organization accepting Hale's Peter Obi move to rally opposition leader. But before we continue, I will give you the floor, sir, to introduce yourself. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you properly.
Okay, thank you. I will give the floor to you to introduce yourself, and at the same time tell the audience about your organization, what they stand for. Thank you. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Good morning. Okay, good afternoon here in Nigeria. Thank you so much for inviting me to have these discussions with your noble platform. My name is Adai Edwin Adai, a member of the People's Democratic Party, an ardent follower of His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I'm a member of the Presidential Campaign Council of the People's Democratic Party. Essentially, that is, the brief introduction that I can do at the moment, pending when you begin to roll out probably the, questions that I would like to answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. For that. Some of the viewers will soon join. It's 12 noon. It's 12:04 in Nigeria, and that will be 7:04 in New York. It's also 12:04 in the Republic of Ireland and in the UK, where most viewers are. The latest move by Peter Obi, your organization, National Consultative Front, hails it, kind of embraces this move. Could you shed more light on this Peter Obi move? That'll be my first question. There are other questions that will come in. Could you educate us on what this move is all about, please? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that very important questions. As we are all aware, the visit visit was all over the social media, all over the mainframe media. Ultimately, the purpose of that visit is strategic. If you recall, November sometime last year, when His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last election, hosted the members of the IPAC, the Inter-Party Advisory Council of Nigeria, in a talk. And if you recall vividly in that conversation, he made it very clear that the Gestapo approach, the clandestine approach being adopted by the APC administrations to essentially turn Nigeria to one-party state is not acceptable. And therefore, there is an urgent need for the opposition party in Nigeria to come together and apparently form an alignment so that we can be able to, first of all, sustain our democracy and also be able to come up, on a very cooperative manner to begin to attack some of the abnormal policies of this administration, which of course has led a lot of people, wailing and crying. So I think it is the responsibility of the opposition party to hold this government accountable for their ill policies and program that is choking Nigeria seriously. And therefore, the major talk or the infusion or the need to collaborate is very essential at this particular point in time. And that is why you can see, in order to deepen the conversation, in order to also let Nigerians know that this thing is not just a mere talk, that His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is very serious about it. You can see he hosted the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, which of course that him too, Peter Obi, is a member of the PDP. And we're also stretching out the ANPP to see how we can strengthen this collaboration to form a formidable front so that we can be able to, cooperate in ensuring that we stand formidable in pushing our narrations and ensure that the opposition party voices are heard and amplified across board.
Thank you very much. If I understand, so this collaboration is in respect to ensuring that the current party or government do not win 2027 general election due to the present state of the nation. Would that be correct, sir?
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. Yes, it's one of the agenda among many.
Do you mind shedding light on the rest? Are you privy to the rest?
Well, if you recall, like I said earlier on, just to re-emphasize that indeed what His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi are doing is not just, it's just a statement to it's a serious issue, apparently. If you recall, in the last presidential election, if you have to combine the votes of His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, and the votes casted in favor of the NNPP, you will see that that vote alone is essentially up to 15 million votes, so to say. So, and if you look at it critically, that vote ordinarily should be the vote of the People's Democratic Party if we have come together as one family, would have beaten the APC administration blue-black. You see, so the combination of these three personality, these three political actors together pull a whopping 15 million vote and above. And you see that is not a small number, to talk about. That's a very huge number as far as this country is concerned. So we have already realized that indeed, we cannot go individually and win this election. The way the APC government has plunged this country into economic crisis is really something that is making Nigeria not happy with the current situation. So a whole lot of things is ongoing, and we look forward to seeing, the consolidation. We are reaching out to the zonal leaders. We are reaching out to so many leaders of thoughts, and subsequently, you are going to see more of some of these activities unraveling in the public space.
Thank you very much. Peter Obi often addressed Atiku as his senior brother. Does that still stand?
You see, that is not new. It's an African culture. It's synonymous to we, the Africans. When you see an elderly person who, you call him Egbon, my elder brother. If I see an elderly person from the Igbo extraction, I will call him my elder brother. Likewise, if you see any leader from the north, you will call him your elder brother. We are elder brothers. We are brothers and sisters in Nigeria, irrespective of the political affiliations, irrespective of the political interest. I think the ultimate thing is, first and foremost, we are brothers, regardless of our ethnic background, regardless of our religious sentiment and all of that. The most important thing is that we belong to an enterprise called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And again, we are all politicians. So there is no enmity whatsoever. So it is high time for Nigerians to begin to understand that we belong to a different political party doesn't make us enemies. And I think the earlier we understood this brotherhood relationship that exists among us as a country, the better for all of us, as citizens of this great nation.
Thank you very much. In 2023, Peter Obi was a member of the PDP. He decamped to the Labour Party for reasons probably could not be, allegedly cannot, it doesn't see himself being a vice president to Atiku Abubakar. Strangely, he has now shook hands with him to form a coalition. What changes?
Well, there is really nothing changes. In politics, there is no enemy. In politics, it's common interest. And I think, we also need to understand that there are divergent interests as far as the political space is concerned. There's what we call personal interest. There's what we call regional interest. And there's what we call national interest. So it's beyond what the public are expecting to see. I think what has changed is that the national interest is more paramount, as the case we are being confronted with in Nigeria today. So I think what really changed is that the national interest, which of course is the most paramount and the most important, is what has changes. Why did it change? If you recall that when this administration came in, a lot of expectation, even though we know that the vote that was allotted to them by the INEC, we know still is still under serious questioning, and when they came in, the first thing that this administration has done to the good people of Nigeria that voted him into power, was to remove the fuel subsidy. And then subsequently, he came up with the electricity hike in the tariff. So all of these things are policies that has a negative multiplier effect on the populist and the Nigerian, population at large. So probably what has changed is that Nigerians are disappointed. What has changed is that Peter Obi is disappointed. What has changed is that Atiku Abubakar is disappointed. So the need for alliance, I think apparently it has nothing to do with personal interest now. It has everything to do with the collective interest of Nigerians, and also to see how we can pull the country out of the wood.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, you referenced personal, regional, and national interests. The focus is on national interests. Now, this is a question. It may appear as if it's not a question, but it is a question. So this national interest, it wasn't there between Peter Obi-Atiku in 2023. Is that the case?
Well, you see, in politics, the dynamism or the dynamics of politics sometimes defined as event unfold. You cannot say because my interest is probably might be regional today, and then tomorrow my interest might be personal, and then next tomorrow my interest will be nationalistic in view. So, what is really not static is that as events unfold, politicians are made to embrace new changes in line with the reality on ground. So whether what is playing out what had played out in 2023 is essentially different from what is playing out in 2024. So whatever you see right now is as a result of the new trend, is as a result of the new happenings in the political space. And the only thing, that is permanent in life is change. So people are meant to change as events unfold. I think there is nothing big deal about it.
All right. Thank you very much. The current government or the current president did not hide his intention prior to the election, and some of the policy is going to implement prior to the 2023-24 election. Does this not mean anything to Peter Obi and Atiku at that time for them to understand that this man means business? So if we allow him to gain power, as we can see today, what is happening in the country, things are going to get bad, from bad to worse, worse to terrible. Why did they not realize this national interest at that time? Because one, the current president said it is his turn to become president, meaning they are turning it to his own personal affair. Yeah, every one of them argues or says that they are going to remove the fuel subsidy. According to IMF news, the fuel subsidy has been reinstated. However, the price of petroleum product or petroleum is still very high. In fact, it seems there is no control over it. So this focus on national interest, I am going to highlight something to you. I don't know if you are seeing it. Could you confirm if you're seeing what is on the screen there? Are you seeing? Can you read it, please? Is it bold enough?
Yeah, I can see it. I'm trying to read it. I think okay. I'm seeing something. Yeah.
I'll read it out. It seems not. Framework for Understanding Patriotism as proposed by Nathanson in 1997. And here it is. Nathanson argues that there are four main components of patriotism. Number one, special affection for one's own country. That this involves a deep emotional, let me readjust, yeah, better now. This involves a deep emotional attachment to one's country, which goes beyond a mere sense of belonging or loyalty. It encompasses a profound love and pride in the nation's history, culture, and achievements. Number two, personal identification with the country. This component refers to an individual's sense of identity, being closely tied to their nation. It means seeing oneself as a part of the nation and its destiny, where the nation's successes and failures are felt personally. Number three, concern for the well-being of the country. True patriots, which you represent, true patriots are deeply concerned about the nation's welfare. These concerns manifest in a willingness to work towards the nation's betterment, ensuring its prosperity, security, and overall well-being. Number four, willingness to make sacrifices for the country. This final component involves a readiness to endure personal hardship or make significant sacrifice for the sake of the nation. It includes being prepared to defend the country, contribute to its development, or make personal contribution in times of need. I think there's one more. Okay, that is it in terms of need. Now, I received a text message this morning that Atiku stated that he may step down and be vice president to Peter Obi. Are you aware of that, sir?
Well, I first and foremost, that is a very wrong notion, is a very wrong statement. I have personally taken out my time to go through the interview, and particularly His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar talked about the position of the party. What he's apparently talking about is, if, for instance, we decide to merge, to downplay on our personal interest, just like some of the things you have read in the submission just recently, you can see that everything that has to do with nation building, it has to do with personal sacrifices. You see, when personal interest clashes with national interest, I think every politician knows that national interest should prevail personal interest. Yes, of course, we as politicians, we can go into politics based on personal interest or regional interest, or based on creed or ethnic interest. But essentially, when all of these interests begin to clash, what is more paramount to us is the significance and the most important out of those divergent interests, which at this particular point is national interest. So what Atiku essentially meant is that, look, for the benefits of the country, for us to be able to come together and form a common front, for the opposition party to be able to amplify their voices, for us to begin to question some of the obnoxious policies of this government, for us to be able to collaborate and form a formidable force, fund our campaign and election to be able to rescue power from this APC failed administration. There is an urgent need. If it takes him as an elder statesman, as a political gladiator in the country, as a formidable force to be reckoned with, to downplay my personal interests over and above the collective interest of the nations, I would do that. That is what he meant. So I understand that some people who, of course, based on their personal vendetta, they want to twist a very nationalistic statement that His Excellency Alhaji Atiku has made, which of course is not the case. What he is apparently talking about is, we must downplay our personal interests over and above the collective interest of the nations. Of course, if you love Nigeria as a country, if you love this country the way some of us do, you will agree with me that what is happening today is uncalled for, is unnecessary. The primary function of every government is the security of life and property and welfare of the people. Let me underline that word, welfare of the people. I repeat it again, welfare of the people. Now, the question I want to ask you is this: whether you are outside the country or not, is the welfare of the people guaranteed under this administration? The answer is no. People are hungry. Parents cannot sponsor their children to school. The electricity tariff hike has plunged the average Nigeria, what we call the middle class, into abject poverty. People are grappling to feed. People are grappling to fuel their cars. All of these things are major challenges. And truly, if we must be honest with ourselves, any government, any system, any organization who cannot guarantee this fundamental need of the people, whereby people can afford to buy food, people can afford to be secured, people can afford to sleep in their comfortable homes with their eyes closed. Any government who cannot, or whose policy is not targeted towards ensuring that these challenges are ameliorated, of course, that government has failed. So that is exactly we in the opposition party are saying. It is nothing new. Our responsibility as an opposition party is to question and to also ensure that this government does not rip our economy or plunge us into another economic crisis. That is what we are talking about. That is what His Excellency Atiku Abubakar meant, not the other way around that they are twisting it in the public space.
Thank you for that clarification. It's much appreciated. I'm going to highlight one of the comments sent here. It says Atiku can no longer be a vice president. He has already served 2 terms as a VP. Is that correct, sir?
Of course, 1999, 2007.
Okay, I just want us to get the record straight. If it's given 2 days now, he is a member of the PDP. Peter Obi is a member of Labour Party. 2 different parties. If they are going to work together, who is good? That means Peter Obi has to, I don't know, maybe you will have more, not maybe, you have more insight than me. So if you're going to work together, that means Peter Obi may probably move back to PDP and the vice president to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Is that the case, sir?
Well, you see, the conversation is ongoing. Leaders of the political parties are talking. When we get to the bridge, we'll know how to cross it. I don't want to preempt. I don't want to preempt or begin to go into this conversation deeper because I am just a member of the committee. Yes, our leaders are moving and they are talking, just like you've seen recently. The visit of His Excellency Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, his visit to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, his visit to Saraki, his visit to Sule Lamido, all of these are leaders of the opposition People's Democratic Party. So the conversation is ongoing, the discussion is ongoing. At the appropriate time, all of us will get to the negotiation table. The sacrifices here and there are expected to be made by all the parties because in the negotiation table, everything is allowed. So there is nothing that is fixated in the political space. It's not a cast in stone. Whatever agreements or disagreement in the past, there is always a way out. I think the most important thing is that we are looking forward to seeing a safer Nigeria. We are looking forward to seeing that Nigerians can afford to feed. We are looking forward to seeing that farmers can go to farm without fear of being kidnapped or being killed. We are looking forward to seeing where food can be on the table of an ordinary man. We are looking forward to seeing a situation where workers can go to work. Their wage bill can be able to take them to their various offices and back. I think all of these things are germane issues that we are talking about. So it's really, or let me say, ultimately has nothing to do with personal interest. And of course, when some of these issues are tabled, when some of these issues are being discussed, I am very sure that most of the leaders that you are seeing today, I have this strong will and believe that they will make such sacrifices for the interests of the country, which of course is the ultimate prize that any patriotic leader or patriotic Nigeria can do for the benefit of our nation.
Thank you very much. I understand that either you are not in possession of some information or don't want to divulge because you see it as early days. When we get to the bridge, we will cross it. But many Nigerians may not agree with you on that. In that, given to what is currently going on in the country, which you've already highlighted, they want hope. They're looking for hope. They're looking for something they can hang their hope on prior to 2027. So if this information are held back, it's not beneficiary for the country. You did make a very important point that the priority of any government is the welfare of the people. Be concerned by as the welfare of the people be a priority to any government in the past 20-25 years?
Well, thank you for that very important questions. Let me see this. PDP had 16 years of successful administrations, and plus and minus, if you look at this current administration of the APC, they have essentially spent what I would call 8 years, okay, let's say 9 years approximately. The question I would like to put forward across to you is, has the life of Nigerian better off compared to the 16 years of PDP administration? The truth of the matter is that we have never had it this worst. We have never had it this worst. We have never had it whereby the middle class, what I'm talking about, the civil servants, our military personnel, the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, those who are operating in the micro and medium scale enterprises, we have never had it so bad. That's to tell you that the opposition party, if they come together, we have the best policy, we have the best program, we'll be able to come up with a very people-oriented social safety net that will help in cushioning some of these economic hardships that is being faced by by Nigerians today. So the point I want you to note is that try to compare the PDP administration, because of course among the three opposition parties that are coming into merger, it is only the PDP that have tested power. So I think the Labour Party, who of course are very, a formidable movement today, and the Kwankwasia movement, who of course are making, deep push in the northern axis, they will agree with us. And don't forget that all of them are members of the People's Democratic Party. So for me, if we all come together as one family, the most important thing is that all of these leaders in the opposition party are already been shaped by the ideology of the People's Democratic Party, which is anchored on the welfare of the people. Do you understand? So there is no need for us to begin to have difficulties in the fusion, because the ideology of the Labour Party is synonymous with the ideology of the PDP, even though there are little differences. The ideology of the NNPP is also, because all of these leaders
we've lost.
Are moving with the Democratic Party. All right. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead. The network seems.
Okay. So all of these opposition leaders, there is one thing I want to tell our viewers, that all of these people are being shaped with the ideology of the People's Democratic Party. So it will not be out of place if we come together, reason together as one family, and begin to chant a way forward that the primary goal will not be anchored on personal interests. The primary goal will be based on national interest, whereby the people of Nigeria, who of course we are there to serve, will maximally gain the dividends of democracy across board. I think that is our priority.
Thank you very much. Again, I would like to thank you for accepting, honoring the invitation, and I believe I'll bring you back here again. Before I highlighted something on the screen, but I'm going to remove it to highlight something else again. Atiku cannot become vice president because of he's been vice president twice. Peter Obi said he's not desperate to become president, but to see what Nigeria work. However, here is a comment here that I want to highlight. Sorry, I just lost that comment now. Yeah, I got it now. Here it is. This person says that the best thing for Atiku and others should be to support Obi in the Labour Party. else Tinubu and his APC will continue with their bad governance. Let's not forget that Wike is still in the PDP. I understand, sir, respectfully, you don't have all the information. And if you do, you are not in the position to want to divulge this information. But in light of this comment I just highlighted now, don't you think this would be a better idea for Atiku, just for argument's sake, and others to give support to Peter Obi so that he becomes president? Is moving from, he has already preached from consumption to production. It's a record of integrity, regardless of our reservation about him, of integrity, transparency, accountability, equity, fairness. Don't you think that will move the nation forward and exhibit this patriotism we are talking about? This is just for argument purposes, because I understand you don't have all the information. We are not yet at the bridge. It's just for you to weigh on, please. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Well, let me first of all thank you for that submission. Number one, there is something I want to let you Nigerians to know, or the world to know, if I will put it that way. Peter Obi has made his mark. He's a leader to be reckoned with. He has everything it takes to lead this country, no doubt about it. And don't forget also, we cannot downplay the influence, the experience of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. Both of them are formidable, highly respected leaders with experience in governance, with experience in policy making, with experience in managing the affair if given the opportunity to do so. But again, know that it is the populace that determines who becomes the president. There is no single individual that has what it takes to become the president of Nigeria. As events unfold, we are going to listen to the dynamics of the political conversation. We are going to listen to the views of the people. We are also going to listen. We are going to pay attention to the positions of all the opposition political party. And we are going to still look, because of course, it's not just between Peter Obi and Atiku alone. Don't forget that this people belongs to a political party. And it is the responsibility of the political party to come up with the blueprints, to talk about how the modalities will be. So narrowing this conversation to these two personalities, as good as that may sound, and I don't think you are doing justice to them, of course, because they are also members of different opposition party. For instance, the Peter Obi, for example, he has to talk with his people. He has to convince his political party. And then likewise with Atiku, he has to convince his people. He has to convince his followers. He has to convince his political party to see that the only options we have as an opposition party is this infusion. I don't want to use the word merger. It's for us to come together to collaborate and push this thing forward. Don't forget, the way the institution of government, the way their predisposition is today in Nigeria, you agree with me that when you are the president of Nigeria, what it ultimately is making some of us to view it is like the entire institution of government work in favor of the party in government. And of course, as an opposition party, what we have as our major strength is the people. And we don't want to take the people for granted. So, essentially, for us to make any headway, we must listen to Nigerians who are the major voters. So it is not just about personality or about the interest of Peter Obi or the interest of Atiku or whatever the conversations is being played in a social media platform. No, it's beyond that. Ours is to, first of all, look at all the critical stakeholders that are involved, engage with them, convince them to see that the only way out, and I want to repeat, the only way out is for all the opposition parties to come together. Because even the INEC, from their antecedents and what they have done in the past, we don't trust them. We don't trust them that much. From the report, you know what is playing out today. Even the security agencies, we need to do a whole lot of work to reorientate some of these people while we are going into the 2027 election. So there is a whole lot of work in our hands. And all of these things require collaborations. All of these things require, people coming into the negotiation table with a free spirit, downplaying personal interest, to see that the overall interest is to see that we as a people were able to come together and push this government who wants to literally kill everybody before even the 2027 general election. And we will not accept it. We are not in conformity. We will fight it. And that is exactly what we are doing.
Thank you very much. You said we've never had it this worse. Have we had it better at any time, sir? Has there been any time Nigeria have had it better on a very comical and emotional sense? Have we ever had it better?
You see, Nigeria is just evolving. Don't forget that our democracy is just 20-something years. The only thing that is required or that is expected or that is permanent is change. And therefore, we are evolving, we are developing, people are learning, people are growing, people are connecting. And even the political party are learning more approaches and learning new pathway in party management and administration. So all of these things are evolving. Things are getting better. So of course, we are not, there yet. But I can tell you that we are growing, and we are very optimistic that if not that these present administrations have, taken us back, we would have crossed, some of these things. And, when the policies are harsh, when people cannot, afford, the common thing that is required for livelihood, I think is very appalling. And of course, we are growing, and for me, we will get it better, and we will scale through this, very hurdle.
Thank you very much. This will be my final question, except I go to the comment section. You did state that the populace determines, which is the supporters, determines who sits there or not. But that was not the case in this 2023 general election. We will not go into that. Peter Obi commands a lot of supporters. How do you think this coalition will sit with them? Because most of them, or don't let me use most of them, some of them are not necessarily Labour Party members. And they are die-hard fan of Peter Obi. In fact, on the comment section, someone said, is Peter Obi or nothing? How do you think he's going to sell this to his fans who don't want any other person except Peter Obi? And given to rumors of allegations against Atiku, even though none has been proven, how do you think he's going to sit with them? Do you think they will embrace him, or they will turn his back on him and probably give their support to Sowore? Now, I don't know if Sowore is one of the players in this coalition. I would doubt it, but I yield the floor to you to answer the question, sir. Thank you.
All right. There is one question I would like to ask. Is it about individual or about the nation? The followers of, the followers of Peter Obi, the question is, what do they really want? Why did you think that Peter Obi gained this maximum support from members of his political party, and especially the younger generation? The answer is simple. Nigerians are tired. The rate of unemployment is very high. People cannot afford the basic needs. And so it is not just about individual. It's about what the country has. The country, we are living in a country where we have an arable land that is not properly exploited. We have oil, money is being generated, and we are not seeing the impact in our economy. The question also that most of these people need to understand is that it is beyond one individual. It's about the people. So the agitation really is about what can be done in governance that will trickle down, that will ensure that the basic need, the basic human need that Nigerians wanted, they should be able to meet. So I think, yes, some of them will know that, look, it is not just about Atiku or about Peter Obi. And that is why I said all these people need to be properly educated, to be properly informed. They need to also understand that the national interest is just beyond any individual. So we must downplay all of this blind followership, irrespective of the fact that these two major leaders has what it takes. I strongly believe that if you give the country to Atiku, he will lead it well. And I also believe that if you give the country to Atiku, he also lead it well. So these people have already been tested. It's up to the people, or it's up to the voters to look, among the various choices, to choose any of them that will better the lives of Nigeria and also improve on our economy and also improve on the security situation in the country. I think that is the most fundamental. So this issue of blind followership is not necessarily what we are looking forward to seeing. It's about how do we improve the livelihood of a common man. I think for me, that is the most important point, and that is what all these followers of Atiku or Peter Obi should look forward in seeing. It's beyond personality. It's about Nigeria, about the welfare of the people, about the security of our lives and property, about bringing forth the right policies to see that we turn this country into the economic hub of the entire continent of Africa.
Thank you very much. You said our democracy, we are evolving in our democracy. I'm trying to how these seats we are evolving in. Democracy is about government of the people, for the people, by the people. That is the simplest definition of democracy. This last 2023 election, to which also I was also involved, also voted in this past election. The people's will were not respected. The past election was the first time I see many Nigerians came out to vote en masse, wanting a change. So when you say our democracy, we are just evolving, giving to the calibers of Nigerians we have even around the world, holding key positions. Where I am currently, the local election is coming up, and I can see a few Nigerians contesting for what? For this local election. Some of them were born in Nigeria before they traveled to Europe, and some of them were born in Europe, but they still maintain their Nigerian identity. So if we say our democracy is still evolving, is it the case, or is it the case of wickedness, like you rightly said, that this current government, the hardship it has put Nigerians into? Tinubu was governor of Lagos State 2 times. He has held key position as well too. So how should that be? What do you base it on, that our democracy is just, we are evolving in this democracy, given to the caliber? Atiku has been 2 times a vice president. It is alleged that he holds oil block as well too. So how is it evolving? Evolving from where to where, and when will it ever evolve? Thank you.
Well, first of all, let me correct that last statement you made, that he has an oil well. I think you need to do your
allegedly.
Okay, that's why you need to do your investigation properly, so that we don't misinform the populace. Secondly, you talked about yes, I stand by my by my proposition that indeed our democracy is evolving. Why do I say so? You talked about people who outside, the shore of Nigeria, who are, basically contesting election in various offices. Yeah. The point is that, do we have this caliber of people deeply participating in the politics in Nigeria? The answer is no. Very minimal of them, if there is any, because the last time I checked, I'm a politician. I hardly see people from the diaspora participating in active politics. I think most of the time they are only on social media. They are not coming actively to participate. That is number one. Number two, if you check democracy, compare our democracy to the US, how many years have they practiced democracy? That's if I could recall, it's more than 200 years. Same with the UK or the British, as the case it is. So our democracy is pretty young because, of course, we are meant to make our own mistakes. Part of the mistakes you see is what you see that is playing out within the system. So you cannot compare our democracy with some of the Western country. Of course, we are just 20-something years old, which is pretty young. So if that is the case, we are open to learning. We are open to opening up our space for the right people, for the intellectuals, the technocrats, and some of the people we have in the outside the shore of this country to say, look, it is high time, haven't acquired those knowledge, haven't acquired those experiences. It's for us to bring them home and translate some of these experiences that they have had in outside the shore of this country into the practical politics. It's not just enough knowing what to do. It's about coming to practicalize what you have known. And I think to the best of my knowledge, there is no political party in Nigeria that is restricting anybody. The recruitment process is literally free. The mobilization process is literally free. So I think instead of some of them to say, no, we haven't done well, I think we have done pretty well. It's just that what you just see is a little pocket of inexperiences on the part of this present administration to bring forth the right policies that will cushion and also help us to improve in our welfare. I think that is just the missing link. We are doing our best, and I can tell you for a fact that we are trying, even though we are not there yet.
Thank you very much. We did not agree on how long I will keep you here. I don't know if you could stay beyond 1 hour, or we should make it a 1 hour. So I don't want to keep you longer than necessary. I also don't want to abuse the privilege of having you on this platform, because I'm going to bring you back. Because as you speak, questions comes, and those in the comment section, I often do comment section because they are my family. Anyway, those in the comment section. So do we do another half an hour, 1.5 hours, or you want to leave it at 1 hour maximum?
Well, if we are not repeating questions, and if we are talking something,
I'm not going to repeat.
Okay. Let's just take it a little bit further, so that we don't, we don't, especially those who are, listening to us. We need to give them the information that is necessary for them to know the situation in the country. And so if that is the case, no problem. Let's extend it a little bit further.
All right. Let me put this question to you. You reference America being 200 years old, the UK, another country. Is there a timeline for democracy to grow or mature? Is there a timeline for democracy to grow?
You see, this thing has to do with the manpower capacity, the ability to make tough choices, the ability to bring forth the right policies regardless whose ox is gore. I don't want to dip into the global politics, where of course we know the hands of some imperial forces who are essentially choking some policies in Nigeria. Of course, if you know rightly, you understand that There are so many treaties that is not in the public space that has, ultimately made or downplay the performances of, some of the political office holders. Those are issues to be discussed in another time. But of course, there are so many forces that is combating. It's not just the mismanagement, the corruption, the maladministrations. There are a lot of forces that is combating, with the tenet of democracy in Nigeria and, in Africa at large. So if you are following the stories, you will hear, some of the stories playing out in some African countries whereby, they are complaining of some imperial forces and, some things that has to do with, choking, policies that was originally meant to better the lives of, the people of such country. So for me, yes, we are evolving. And that is why the issue of leadership, recruitment process is very paramount in this country. We need the right leaders. It's not just about saying, okay, this person is good or this person is bad. It's about ensuring that we elect the right people who understood the problem of the country, who can tackle the problem from the root. So I think all of these things are issues that we are grappling with in the country. Don't forget that, we are still developing, as a country. And therefore, there are so many things that we are grappling with and here and there. So it takes time for all of these things to fizzle out. It takes time for us to fight them. It takes time for us to, to deal with some of these issues. And so in due time, and I think that the good thing is that the consciousness of Nigerians are building up, the courage of Nigerians are building up, and the knowledge is increasing day by day, and questions are being asked. So at the appropriate time, I can tell you that we will get it. We are not there yet, but we are in the process of getting it right. So yes, our democracy is developing, and I think in due time we'll get there, by the grace of God.
Thank you. We will stop at 1 hour, but I need to put this. You did not answer the question asked if there is a timeline for democracy to grow or mature. You will agree with me that
Now you can't put a timeline. You see, it's not like a project. It's not like a building. You are building it. It's not like a project where you said, okay, we are building a skyscraper, and therefore plus and minus in so month we should be able to build this thing to the lintel, or to be able to finish it and furnish it with the necessary material. Democracy or politics don't play that way. There are a lot of factors that is militating, in the political space. You have to deal with the issue of religion. You have to deal with the issue of ethnicity. You have to deal with the issue of reorientating the people. You have to deal with the issue of personal interest. You have to deal. So all of these issues are a lot of challenges that we need to deal with. So you saying we should put a time limit to it, I don't think you are being fair to the politicians and the country at large.
I'm not saying we should put a timeline on it. I asked a question based on your argument referencing America and other countries. Reason why I asked this question is, you will agree with me that Nigerians, we have brains, we have intellectuals in Nigeria, not just outside Nigeria. I don't know which words to use to describe us, but we are blessed also with natural resources as well. And we hear every day of money being stolen or being misused. So that's why I asked the question as to, is it democracy or outright wickedness? That's why I'm asking. That's why I asked that question. I am not saying there's a timeline, because at a certain point when you have a child, you expect that child, when it gets to a certain age, to behave maturely. Not, they say a fool at 40 is a fool forever. Nigeria is over 40 years old now, and we'll be practicing this democracy, I think since 1999, when the Constitution was written, or far beyond that. So when are we going to get it right? That was why I asked the question. Is there a timeline for democracy to grow and mature?
Well, I would like to address this question this way. Number one, you talked about Nigerians having the right people, intellectuals who are doing very, very well outside the shore of this country. The question I would like to ask is that how many of them are in Nigeria today trying to brace the challenges, trying to imbibe the patriotic spirit and say, look, regardless the harsh policies of government, regardless, the monkey or the difficulties of the political terrain, for the purpose of patriotism, for the love of my country, I will leave my comfort zone and then come to Nigeria, brace up the storm, and see that we push this country deliberately into the place that we are expecting it to be. You see, leadership is more paramount when it has to do with governance. It is the people that change the system. The system cannot just change itself. So we need the people with high moral capability. We need the highly educated people, because of course, if you look at our political space today, with due respect to those who are, active politics and holding strategic positions in the country, you will agree with me that it is not the best of us that are holding some of these, positions in leadership. And this thing has to do with, number one, we need to reorientate ourselves. The good thing is that the consciousness is growing rapidly, but we are not there yet. Until we begin to see the right people, until we begin to come up with the policies, the right policies, and downplay money politics. Because today in Nigeria, it is those with the financial war chest that determines eventually what happened. So we should also know that without finance, you can actually be in active politics. What actually determines the decisions or the change of mind from the populace is the ideology or the ideological belief that leader is upholding. So we need people with ideology. We need people with superior ideology. We need people with the right mindset. We need people who are incorruptible to fill up this space. So we cannot be there complaining, pushing up narrations to make it look as if all that has to do with Nigeria is for the wrong reason. No, the truth of the matter is that we have the people. So we need these people to come on board. We need our best brain to be the president of Nigeria. We need our best brain to be the ministers occupying and holding brief in all the ministries and parastatals of governance. We need our best brain in the legislative arm of government, both the red and the green chamber. We need our best brain to be as governors of respective states, as local government chairman. So the governance is all encompassing. There are so many gaps to fill. There are so many space. And if I may even add to what I've just said, the political party today in Nigeria, the question is it ideological driven? If the political party are not ideological driven, who are those people with the right skills of managing the political party? They are out there that are supposed to be here to help us in strengthening our party system. So all of these things are all encompassing. And until we begin to deal with some of these issues, truly we will still be complaining. But like I said, a whole lot of work needs to be done, and we are doing our best to see that we do the right thing to position our country as the most formidable country in the continent of Africa.
Thank you very much. I am done with my question. I have two questions from the audience. Do you like to take them from the viewers? Because we are here because of them. The first one is highlighted already. The power to appoint INEC chairman rests with the president. Mahmoud is still the INEC chairman. Given to what happened in this past, what do you think will happen in 2027 if Mahmoud is still there? Even if it's not Mahmoud there, Tinubu has the power to appoint INEC chairman. How do you think it's going to play out in the next election?
Well, I think that is a very, very important question. I don't know who asked that question. I think I'm seeing the name Blessing. I think that's
the person
okay.
is Blessing. I don't know if it's a male or female.
Okay. All right. I see the name Blessing. I think for me as a politician, I often debate about, or I often criticize the recruitment process of the INEC chairman. For me, like the saying, he who pays the piper dictates the tone. We don't expect the presidency should be the one to appoint the INEC chairman, or probably send him to the Senate for ratification, because of course he who employs it's a clear moral question that anybody who employs you, consciously or unconsciously, you will find yourself, being loyal to that person. So for me, I want to believe, and I think the National Assembly, if possible, they can do something about it. Let it even be that the INEC chairman, for instance, if I will give my own suggestion, I want to look forward to seeing a situation where every zone can present their best, a person of integrity, and then we elect a delegate, probably a delegate from the political parties, so that they should be the one to elect the INEC chairman. In my own view, I don't want to, agree with the philosophy of the INEC chairman being appointed by the presidency. So if going forward, if it is something that we can go and do some kind of constitutional amendment or take such matters to the public space and approach the National Assembly for it, I think for me it's a welcome development. Let Nigerians be the one to elect INEC chairman, and then probably subject it to the National Assembly for ratification and all of that. So the issue of allowing the president to be the one to elect, and that is why we are seeing all this abnormality in our institutions, and that is why today you see that an INEC is declaring a result of an election in the middle of the night, and that is why even after the declaration of the election, they are citing technical glitches. That's the reason why they've not been able to upload the same result that they have collated, to their portal. All of these things are issues that Nigerians need to talk about. So I think that is a very important question. I think for me, Nigerians should be the deciding force. We should be the one to elect the INEC chairman. Let us even elect, maybe through a delegate process, where political parties or members of the National Assembly, in my view, to be the one to elect, the INEC chairman, not the other way around. Because as the saying goes, he who pays the piper will dictate the tone. We cannot expect the president to elect the INEC or to appoint the INEC chairman, subjected to ratification from the Senate, and we're expecting the INEC chairman to be fair to us. That is something that we need to take it up as Nigerians, and that is what we need to approach the National Assembly for. And probably if they're able to do that before the subsequent election, it will be a welcome development, and probably it will be a win-win for all of us as citizens of this country.
Thank you very much. I will bring you back here again for this amendment issue. You've already weighed in on the second question, but I'm going to say I liked it. You've already weighed on it. It says, can't we push for amendment of the Electoral Act to make electronic transmission of results mandatory and results in IRF a valid vote? So you've already weighed in on that. So I will bring you back here, please. I'm putting this invitation out now for us to talk on the Constitution and its amendment. Some people oppose. Some don't say the Constitution is a fraud or whatever it is. But you made a very important point, which I've also echoed over time, that it rests on the people to do a lot of things and to take the country back. The people, which is you and I. The people means the people, particularly those on the ground. Again, I want to thank you for taking our time to join this broadcast. And I will let you go now, but I will give the floor to you for your final word before I let you go. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
All right. On the final note, you see, we are being confronted with a very difficult situation as a country. And sincerely, as a patriotic Nigeria, as a nationalistic in view, my parting word would be that we should downplay on religious politics. We should downplay on ethnicity politics. We should downplay on regional politics. I think the country belongs to all of us. The country is ours. If Nigeria is good, it's good for everybody. If Nigeria is bad, it's bad for everybody. So going forward, let us see how we can collaborate more, unite more, work together. The issue of trying to divide us along religious, ethnic lines should not be the point. This country, the poverty you are seeing that is, prevalent in Nigeria today does not know a Yoruba man, or does not know an Igbo man, does not know an Hausa man. The poverty or the hardship does not know whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. And these are some of the mundane things that is, that essentially becomes like the deciding force in our political decision making. So I think for me, we should downplay all of this sentiment and see how we can support a competent leader, a tested leader, those who have proven over time that they are people of integrity. It is not just about the money. It's about who can deliver the dividends of democracy to the people of Nigeria. And I think if we have that in view and we work towards the collective interest of ensuring that the best are the ones we elect into critical position of leadership, the better for this country.
Again, Mr. Edwin Adai, I would like to thank you once again, and I will let you go, and I will reach out to you on the usual format, and we will come back here again sooner than expected. So please leave your calendar or your diary open for me. Probably put my name on your everyday in your diary that I can call for you at any time. Thank you and have a lovely weekend, and my regards to the family. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my people, we are here. We thank our guests who came to join us. And now the comment section, my people, in the comment section. Sorry, I didn't highlight everyone's comments. I only pick questions because I didn't want to keep the speaker, our guests, longer than necessary. So we can stay here longer than the usual time. There's another broadcast coming up, I think 5 p.m. The usual broadcast will be here 5 p.m. So don't hesitate to join. Just join, and so most of you have already weighed in on what I was supposed to highlight this with Wiki still blessing. I mean, blessing. I don't know who you are, but thanks. I want to thank everybody for your comment. Your comment in respect to the INEC chairman is very important. And also this one also with Wiki still in the PDP, Atiku will not scale through. And the PDP already has. So how would they deal with Wiki? I mean, like you said, we will know in the coming days these visits. I am skeptical, like a lot of people are skeptical, but let's hope they will be able to help us our skepticism over what is actually going on, because the way things are going, the dollar right now or the pounds, it's nothing to write home about. And for the every day it seems there is no control over the fuel price again. IMF said the subsidy has been reinstated back. The subsidy removal. Yes, I'll send the link. Yes, sorry about this. I should have put the link. Let me put the link, Daniel. So here is the link for those of you who wants to come on the platform. I've sent the link, so you can come on the platform. Daniel Oyemachi, the link is there. I've just sent the link for you, and those also who wants to come in briefly to have this conversation. There is no control of fuel price anymore. It's up to 900. In some places, it's 800. Some places, it's 1,000. And the fuel subsidy has been reinstated. If the fuel subsidy has been reinstated, why is the price still high? Mr. Revolution, you are done. my dad. Thanks for joining. Anyway, the floor is yours, Dan. I believe you've been watching and listening in the background. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, respect, Mr. Electricity. And I was just listening to the brother. You asked him very serious questions, which I'm very happy about. But sometimes he answers properly. Sometimes he tries to force you to understand him, which is the system that we are asking about. You see, this Peter, I just want to comment on Peter Obi going back to Atiku. That is what is, you told him it will discourage so many of us obedient, genuine obedient. We are not just obedient. There are some of us who are genuine obedient. I will just say like the dog going back to his vomit. Because you should remember that Obi left that party because of...
Dan, let me highlight it. I already wrote it down, so you should know that I didn't want to highlight it just before. Look at it here. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. It's an aphorism which appears in the book of Proverbs. You see, when I saw it first, this is what came to my mind. I yield the floor back to you. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, so I didn't even see it, but thank God that we have the same opinion, So you have to ask something, because you were asking that brother. He spoke well, no problem. But this is the problem why I just chose this revolutionary name that I'm using now. Somebody was so greedy. He changed the whole format of PDP because of greediness. And that caused a lot of commotion. In fact, that problem Atiku did was why Tinubu is in power today. That is why Nigerians are suffering today. Because that was what pushed Obi out of that place. And that was what caused Wike. We can be blaming Wike today. I don't like him. But these are the things that people like that say, hey, Naso, okay, if you say Naso, it go, we make we spoil everything. And they have spoiled everything. And now, Obi, I don't think Obi underrates himself. You know what I mean? He's disgracing us, the obedient. He doesn't even know how high he is now in the Nigerian politics. Now, because they want to remove Tinubu, you leave people like Sowore, positive thinkers. You leave, and let me just take you back again. This was why I said that Aisha Yusuf, that is coming up today, I'm this, I'm that, we are talking everything, we don't have government. Fine, she can say what she like. But they brought, remember, they told us that Jonathan was not good enough, it was bad. And they gave us the devil they know in Buhari. And you saw what we are going through. And this is what Obi is repeating. Okay, just so because we cannot stand alone, Nigeria, they will tell us Nigeria complicated, this is that. It's better I go back to the same devil I know that is greedy, and he cannot even succeed there, because when the nitty-gritty comes to it, Atiku will never step down for Peter Obi. You understand? And then after deceiving all the people again, he will now go back to Labour Party, or they will scatter everything again, waste our time, put us to talking distance. Nigeria is like, I mean, there are some houses in Europe today. All of a sudden, you see them, they will demolish it and rebuild it, because the location is paramount, it's a top-notch. Nigeria location is a top-notch. We cannot just, In fact, electricity, I'm sort of, I was sleeping when you came in, and I said, my man is said, let me listen. And all of a sudden, I could not sleep again. I'm so disappointed by Peter Obi trying to go back to where he left disgracefully. You understand me? Going back there for what? Is Atiku the only person in the north? You have a very good vice president, vice running mate what's his name again? Very brave man. You don't think of people like that. You are going back to Atiku. No, you told that brother that he's alleged to have an oil something. He's telling you should check facts, as if Nigerians are fools, as if we don't know what is happening in that country. Let me just relax a bit before I bite off my tongue.
All right, John Abba, thanks for joining. Happy Saturday to you, and I hope your week went well. The drama unfolding, Atiku, Peter Obi visiting Atiku. I don't know if you listened to we had a guest earlier before. I don't know if you listened to it, but if not, how do you think this is going to play out, John Abba? Yeah,
Good
muted.
morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Electricity, and
Good morning.
Dan. Good morning from this end. I think I listened to the guy. He is a politician. To me, it's no different from the old ones. It's another. If any office he will occupy, he will be worse than anybody in our new generation. He talked about the diasporas are not getting involved in politics, or they are not die hard of Nigeria. That is unbelievable. Today he came here because diaspora care about Nigeria. That's why you hosted him. So for him to be that dishonest and not value the impact of diasporas in Nigeria is another politician that have a sweet tongue. So he can think the way he think and say whatever he says, eloquent, but he is no different from any other fitty politician out there. That's about him. On B, going to Atiku. Remember, if you Ovi talked about it before. If you remember in Rudolph's show, that there's a coalition building up that Atiku and Obi will come back together. It depends on how you view it. I think Obi have no backbone enough to tackle the influence he have is too much for him. He couldn't manage it. I said it here and over there. But the diehard of Obi think that, oh, he can. Yes, you give him all the momentum. You give him all the support he needed. But it's not, it doesn't have what it takes to catapult it to the next level. So he need another support from Atiku like it is right now, trying to build a coalition. It's a normal politician style of weighing where he's going because it's no different. If it is someone like Sowore, for instance, Sowore have no alliance with such people. He's very straightforward. He will use it. He will use this energy that given to Peter Obi. He will take it to the next level. But then, like I said, he's a politician. He weighed the options before him. He see his strength. He know what he can do and what he cannot do. His supporters are terribly overwhelming him. There's so much momentum that he himself doesn't have. So he has to do what he has to do, and that's why he went to Atiku, because he has he doesn't have what it takes to push through. He's not aggressive enough. He's a polite, articulated speaker. He sells well, but sometimes you sell something you don't have, and that's what he's facing right now. Thank you.
John, before you go, how do you, what actually made me to run this broadcast is Let me highlight it. Victor Ike, you have to give permission to your video and audio for you to be connected to StreamYard. It said device not connected. I know you're trying to join, so if he asks you the question, just give permission, or maybe it's your network. I don't know. So I highlighted this earlier: the brotherhood versus the obedient. This is not about Bobrisky. I mean, what's his name? What's that guy's name that sang the song? What's his name again? What's that guy's name that sang a Bobrisky song? Can somebody remind me? That Nigerian guy now, that singer. I've forgotten his name.
Yeah, I know the one from Abiyokuta, but
He was arrested a few days ago.
oh, the singer.
Yeah. Was arrested a few days ago for buying a car and not paying the money, the complete money. So this is the brotherhood. Peter Obi and Atiku. People, I know Mama Ho, and a lot of people complain about him addressing Atiku as his brother. There's nothing wrong with addressing anybody as your brother, as your senior brother. But I don't know the attachment there. How would they sit with the obedient? Because these are die-hard supporters of obedient and they don't want Atiku. So how would this play out? How do you think? Let's for argument's sake, how will Peter Obi be able to convince them, if that is the case, that they are forming a coalition they want to make? How will Peter Obi be able to convince them to come on board with Atiku, John?
He will be able to convince some of them, but not all of them, because he is going to tell them all he's doing is to make sure that the country do not go through another painful 4 years. And he believes that Atiku and him and any other person will be a better choice for Nigeria. Peter Obi is a good seller. He will sell it. And there are so many of his followers that will not buy it. But there are also many that when he sell it the way he will sell it, they will believe him. And like I said, Obi, I believe he's a good guy. He means well, but he does not have what it takes. So he need to build that alliance with someone that he knows that he have the experience. He also have, if we go by the number of the election announced by INEC, if we go by that number, you will see that Tikwi led him by few number, or it depends on how you want to look at it. So he understands that the only way he will push through is to go to a very familiar name like Atiku, because sometimes the reason why politician does what they do is how did the Nigerian people accept you? And I want you to know that there are a lot of diasporas who push Obi message to them in Nigeria that Obi gain that momentum. And that momentum is still on his side. And I think he will sell it well when the time comes. All he need to tell them is that I'm telling you that we need this to deliver Nigeria from this direction. These 4 years of Tinubu will be terrible for us. And
John,
he will sell
it's
it.
not yet 1 year. 4 years is too far. It's just
No, I mean, we are talking about the next election. We are not talking about for whatever it is that he's going to spend 4 years. He's already in the office, right?
Is that what I'm saying? Is the first year is already terrible. Imagine the next
Okay,
3 years.
exactly. So he will sell it well for them and they will buy it. And the other thing is that the only thing I take from this, your speaker, who in many other ways I disagree with his view or his own politics, is that he says that Nigerian is still young in democracy. Yes, yeah, it is. But then where you stop is where your children start from. So if he's going to compare our democracy of 20-something years, and he do not understand that the 200 years plus, you do not go back to start from all over. We learn from the others, and then we make a better choice. So for him to think that we have to be that 200 years before we do well or compare us, then that is not progress. Progress means where I stop, someone else start from there. My years, they stand on my shoulder to grow up. So for him to compare that, oh, we are young, yeah, we know we are young, but we have seen many things that we could have done better that we do not do it. And nobody is taking responsibility than to give excuse that we are young.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. I'll come to you, Dan, but Sid, thanks for joining me. This is democracy of a thing. I push on it a lot with him that comparing. Thanks for those who reminded me of Portable's name. Portable, that's his name, that sang the Brotherhood for Bobrisky.
Yeah, thank
Brotherhood
you
to
very much.
brotherhood, sisterhood to sisterhood. So that is what is unfolding now. The Brotherhood appears to have a stronger hold, even in politics, in Nigerian politics, and they don't hesitate to come together. Do you think, in your own opinion, Sid, I don't know if you listen to the speaker,
Yeah, I
that
listen to him.
this brotherhood of a thing will sit with the obedient. That is the key thing. That is the key issue here right now.
Good
Do you
evening
think
to
it will
all
sit
the
well with them?
panelists, Granaba, and all the guys, and also Electricity. And yeah, good discussion with your guests this evening. However, I think a lot of times we overflog issues. We're overhyping the polity. Definitely, first of all, we need to build where we're coming from. All right. This was the Peter Obi that they said there were 4 people in the room tweeting. This was the same man. And suddenly, in few months, he built a movement gathered around him that is still formidable. And that movement is currently the only opposition movement in Nigeria. Everything that happens in Nigeria, that movement is solidly behind him. That movement is solidly speaking. Now, let me tell you, Atiku is a sinking ship already. Reasons why I say this. Number one, the PDP that Atiku is gathered around is already seriously fragmented because there is a Wike with whom he has not been able to remove in PDP and remove his henchmen in the PDP. So, and he knows, see, politicians they have data, they see the momentum. He knows that Peter Obi is already creating a lot of inroads in the north. Especially
Sid, sorry for it. Sid, hold on 1 second. Mazi Prince, are you driving? I think he's driving.
Yes.
The policy says you can't drive and be on the platform. So I'm going to remove you when you park. There you can rejoin, please. Sid, apology. The floor is back to you.
No worries, that's fine. So Peter Obi is already creating inroads in the north. So Peter Obi is the beautiful bride. Peter Obi, as it stands, has close to 6 to 10 million obedience solidly behind him. And his numbers are growing by the day. As the hunger increases, invariably his numbers are increasing. So Peter Obi understands that I'm the person that is in the driver's seat. The window is shortened for Atiku. He has the last window he has is 2027. So Atiku needs to back down. If you look at it in the past few months, that's when Atiku started ramping up some level of opposition because his main base is fragmented. Kwakwanso is already sold out. Kwakwanso is sold out to APC already. So Obi needs to also understand and work alongside the ecosystem. You can't expect that there's a discussion going on and then you will not bring the man that 10 million people are behind him. for discussion. But let me put it out there, and I can put so much around it. 2027, Peter Obi has to be on the ballot. That's it. That's a tricky situation. Peter Obi has to be on the ballot. If Peter Obi is not on the ballot, what will happen is that he will lose his political strength, and that's it. He will never gain that political strength. And he knows that clearly. He's a man that understands that this is a time that is meant for him. So Atiku has to now decide whether he wants to become a patriarch. Atiku has to decide whether he wants to now step up into a different stratosphere politically without contesting, but backing someone that has the momentum. So a Peter Obi will not close the door to that kind of backing. But when people are seeing this engagement, they are seeing it on just a normal level. And some people say, oh, Peter Obi will not be president. That's irrelevant. What is relevant now is they are looking for political relevance. And as it stands now, even APC understands that the person that they have to deal with in 2027 is only one man, Peter Obi. And they know it. That's why everything they do is to shut his system down. Unfortunately, even all the paid spokespeople have not been able to contain the movement. They've not contained that movement. They've not contained it on the media. They've not contained it in any way. They keep making mistakes. That error, that why they are error prone, especially the APC media machinery is so error prone, is because they are trying to catch up with a very savvy, obedient media. The obedient media is very savvy, very nimble, and they are finding it difficult to keep pace. So the truth is this: Obi has been in the narrative. He has followed through his program. He said he will be the face of opposition, and truly he has been the face of opposition. What we are seeing is Atiku realizing that there is a drowning ship in PDP. Emeka Ihedioha is out with his whole block out with Imo State. The Southeast is fragmented in PDP. The South, there are a lot of issues. The Wike and the Fubara factions, there's infighting. And Atiku is finding it difficult to hold down the house. And that is the reality. So Atiku needs to find a pathway to create relevance. So what we see is good. It's good. But I tell you, if you take a step back, Peter Obi is in the driving seat. And obedience don't need to panic because his name will be on the ballot. That is the truth.
Here is I know I'm going back to the past. This is about the nation, about Nigeria, regardless of how we feel. And this issue about Nigeria has been there. One thing about Tinubu is he did not hide his intentions prior to and after. So, I mean, why couldn't they work together at that time?
I'll explain. The reason why they couldn't work together.
I'll come to you. I'm just taking sit down. Go ahead.
They couldn't work together at that time because Peter Obi was an unknown quantity. So Peter Obi was somebody that has not tried the biggest political office on his own. So nobody expected that somebody will swing from the flank and have a go at the political big behemoth, which is PDP and APC. So he was not taken serious. And so he decides, but Peter Obi understood, could smell the coffee, that Nigerians, especially the younger folks, had tilted and were ready to have a go against the established political behemoth. But the big behemoth felt we can deal with him. So we went into an election that has been able to say, this is my muscle. This is my muscle. If you see the discussion now, prior to 2023 election, they were thinking Kwakwanso, the Kwakwasia movement, was very strong in the north. But after the election, we have seen that the Kwakwasia movement is just nestled in Kano. And that is the reality. So Kwakwanso has dropped down significantly, politically. The narrative we now see is that if a man can pull, according to INEC, but according to what was on the ground, we know that Peter Obi went for that election and he was pretty much the winner. But let's give the INEC. INEC gave them 6 million votes. Now look at a rookie. A rookie gets 6 million votes, and a veteran Atiku gets similar 6 million plus votes, just a few thousand difference. What it has automatically done is this.
Peter Obi a rookie? I mean, I don't think so.
You know, in the context of what I'm discussing.
In the context of the Aso Rock, I've been in that.
If you compare him with Atiku, you would, I may not use the word rookie, but it was based on the context that Atiku has run for this position pretty much a few times. Atiku has been in the corridors of power.
Yeah, well, it was 2 times vice president.
You're bringing a Tinubu that is basically a kingmaker. He's done it. So they were facing an unknown quantity, and that's why he was easily dismissed. And so it was like, okay, go and try your luck. But this contest is about PDP and APC. That was the narrative, if you remember. It was about PDP, and Labour Party was, okay, let's see what it can do. But suddenly, Labour Party became a major third force. So now, the discussion can now start. Can there be a coalition? How will a mega party coalition work? In my own analysis, Nigeria is not yet ready for that kind of coalition. Yeah. It cannot do the same coalition that happened in Kenya, for instance, the Orange Coalition or the Rainbow Coalition. Nigeria has a lot of heavyweights. That's why I said, except somebody like Atiku moves up to a next stratosphere where he becomes part of a structure that brings Peter Obi on the platform.
Into power.
Which it can be. It's Atiku at this moment feels this is my last chance to have a go. So I know that coalition or mega structure, as Patu Tomi was talking about it earlier in some discussion, he called it a mega structure. I don't think it may be able to materialize because every politician is as good as his base. And like what my brother earlier said, Peter Obi already knows he has a base. And that base is taking nothing else than him on the ballot. Because they have proved it that they can do it.
This question is for the both of you, but I'll go with Dan first. A picture speaks 1,000 words. That picture that was posted to me is a deliberate thing. Let me see if I can bring that. You must have seen the picture. This is the picture. His picture speaks 1,000 words. Okay, it is my honor and privilege to host Peter Obi. Sowore often stands on its own. I mean, a lot of people have highlighted it here. Do you think Dan is going to cash in on this now and try to win some of Obedience? Because some of Obedience actually, I mean, some of the Sowore supporters voted for Peter Obi in this last. Do you think Sowore will cash it on this? Because he's not going to join the coalition. Everybody knows that. It's going to take a miracle for Sowore to say, yes, I want to be part of this coalition. Dan, do you think he's going to cash in on it and try to win some supporters to himself? First, Dan, then Sid will be the next person. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Electricity. You see, the problem I used to say that is associated with Nigerians is that we never like what is called the truth in life. That is why we underrate people like Sowore. You understand? They will say, when they come, they will tell you, Sowore, the way he talks to the people, he has no respect, he has no, this is our Nigerian system. He does, Nigerians like to play that game of, oh, he's your senior. If you want to talk to him, you have to dobale, all those type of things, which has led us nowhere. You understand? So you see Sowore's issue. Everybody knew or knows that Sowore is the right, or people of Sowore's thinking are the future of Nigeria when we want to really sincerely get ourselves out of this trouble. Peter Obi, okay, let's just give it to him because he has done something in I don't know, Anambra State or whatever, and he's a man of let's call it integrity. He doesn't like. He told us, well, a good talker, an orator. I call him a very good, experienced orator. He knows what to say. Or if the person at top is not stealing, the other people under him will not steal. Although I understand that was where he got Nigerians, especially the youths. But when we talk of changing Nigeria, giving Nigeria, taking us out of this trouble we are in right now, Sowore has everything. He told us before, Peter Obi and all these people, they are all the same. People will say, Sowore don't start again. No. But Sowore is this type of Nigerians where I belong to. I never supported Obi first. We just supported Obi, make it be like, say, okay, Nigerians don't give him the green light, make it not be like, say, we leave him in the cold. That is what took some of us Sowore supporters, make we even try, let's see. And we got there, but Obi could not even fight for himself. We won the election, but Obi just gave up like that because, okay, maybe advice from some religious leaders, don't worry, your turn will come and all those things. His turn will never come if he doesn't fight for it. And me, I will tell you, Sowore is the reigning champion in Nigeria today because whatever Sowore has been standing for and been saying has come out to play. They're all the same. How can you imagine Peter Obi going, look at the headline now you just showed us, shaking hand with an enemy, somebody who cost him, who pushed him out of PDP. You go there, back there, like you just mentioned the last time, the dog going back to his vomit. You got it. You were spot on. These are the people who made Peter Obi what he is today. Atiku pushed her to be there. Even this wicked noise is from because of Atiku. And you go back again and make a national headline shaking hand with an enemy. For me, Sowore, if Nigeria wants anything good, we should turn the obedience. As I'm telling you now, the obedience you have to rethink, and we have to choose the next person and give all our vote to Sowore. Period. Thank you.
I don't support that at all.
See, the floor is yours.
My reason, my brother Dan, just listen. I listen to you. So the few things I want to say to rebut that. First of all, in any organization, even if it's your organization, you tell somebody, give me your CV. I want to see your CV so that I can give you a job. All right. We ask, Sowore has done great things in his private life, which is good. Great things in terms of being a social critic, which he does very well. So I understand that. But we're talking about governance. We're talking about being an astute administrator in an arena that is mixed with politics and different dynamics. And that is the challenge with most Nigerians and the Sowore message. And I always ask all Sowore supporters, if you drill deep down and you confirmed it, most of them voted Peter Obi. Why? Because they could see clear-cut track record. And that is what sells elections. You need to sell your message. So my advice is Sowore needs to think again and say, okay, how do I sell my message? How do I sell my message? Because everything in life is about perception. How do I sell my message to those obedience so that that whole momentum can shift to me? That's one of the things he needs to think about. So I don't think there's always an issue. And then this issue of, okay, you always will attack an Obi. The truth is this: politics is about engagement. Politics and leadership is about engagement. Even your enemy, you draw them closer. You cannot be on an island and isolated and expect that a very multicultural, multi-religious, multinational nation like Nigeria will tilt. Nigeria is very centric in thinking. Yes, we have our various persuasions, but the bottom line is we want something that works for everybody. Everybody needs to be part of this big pie. And so Sowore must begin to rethink his message. It's not about, oh, he does not respect them. That's not my problem. I feel that he needs to rejig his message and begin to communicate that message to Nigerians. And I tell you, if Sowore had got a political position, maybe as a governor of a state, which he has possibilities of becoming, or like he's or governor of Lagos, contest for it, build your momentum and get it, and let us see administratively how you can shift things around Lagos. I tell you, it's an easy sell. And I'm not saying that he cannot go directly for presidency, but he must have to adjust his messaging. That is very, very important. Going to 2027, the question is not whether Peter Obi handshakes somebody or doesn't handshake somebody. Go and read the books of Obama. He'll tell you, I try to give every handshake possible so that I win an election. But they already know what they want to do. However, the most important problem for the 2027 election is not who becomes flag bearer of their parties or a mega structure. The challenge is that whoever is coming 27 is contesting against an astute politician, a politician that knows that he can take machinery of state. And if you realize, he has not moved any needle with INEC. So based on the elections, based on what the judiciary told us, beavers and all that is irrelevant. That means whatever party must rethink their strategy in this next election, that the beavers, the IREV means nothing. Number one. Number two, that winning Abuja means nothing. They've told us in the Supreme Court. So it means that the political heavyweights must rethink and leverage on the poverty that is in the land, the hardship that is in the land. And that is why the North has been crying, and the northern elements, the Jigawa man, Atiku, and the Northern Elders Forum, with the little man from Kaduna who has been sidelined, there's already a growing animosity in the North. The question is who can leverage on it. And that is why when they saw Peter Obi making the move of digging his boreholes quietly, in making incisions into that northern pie, they have to react. They have to call him. They have to find ways to bring him to see what can happen. So this political game is very vast than what we think it is. So for now, and I can assure you, Sowore should not waste his money. He doesn't have the momentum. And sometimes in life, somebody must accept it, that I don't have the momentum as it stands now.
Please, let me just interject, please.
Okay, go ahead. The floor is open. John, thanks for stop driving. So thank you very much. Go ahead,
yeah,
John.
my brother is making a point, which is the trouble of Nigeria. Because if you follow the Nigerian situation, clearly, I'm not just saying following the momentum like he's trying to portray, which has kept Nigeria where we are, and we continue to point that arrow down. Nigerians have not started suffering when we keep saying the momentum is what we need. The problem is the system that we are following, and which many educated Nigerians, sorry to say, we come so low and we tell you this pattern is what Nigerians supposed to follow. This Nigeria is a religious blah blah blah. Is this in such a society you have to touch everybody? That is why Nigeria is not making a step forward, because we condition ourselves saying na so Nigeria be, na so things be. You have to follow it. That is why we don't make a progress. And when somebody comes in with a new game, Peter Obi played it a little bit, but people like Sowore and so many other people, when they come and tell you this system is not working, it's either we break it down and set up a new system. You will find so many Nigerians, they will disagree with you. They will find many ways. Go and become a local government chairman. Go and become this, which they know you can never do it. They will never give Sowore a chance to even become even a secretary of anything. Nigerian system will not even give him. Let me finish, brother. Nigerian system will never give Sowore or people of Sowore's type to even become a governor. And you will come and tell us, let him go there. How? They won't let him go there because the system doesn't want change. And they will keep us down.
Can I ask you a question on Sowore? Can I ask
brother,
you a
hold on.
so that you can answer it. So that you can answer it.
Okay, let me hear the question.
The question I want to, Sowore has a party that he was chairman and president.
Yeah.
All right. I'm asking you, in that kind of scenario, is it the right scenario for party politics? Because that's where you look at the man, his party. How many Sowore supporters are actually registered in the party that Sowore is? Let him build that momentum for us.
Is this a question or you're making?
Yeah. So I'm asking you.
Okay, let me ask the question. I know the question was coming, because anytime people want to stop a change, they will never see anything good in the change. They will tell you that nobody's registered. Who is registered in Nigerian party politics today? Is it because of what they are telling us? The only people registered in PDP, APC are the leaders of that party, the caucus, the people who run everything. No common man is respected. We just follow them. When they give you your own 5,000 or 3,000, say baba and all these type of things. But Sowore, when we are talking about people like Sowore, Alhaji Danti, let me include him. These are people who have come and said that this system is not working. Don't forget, Alhaji Danti told us that if he had the opportunity to be on Peter Obi's step, he will take a different action. I hope you heard that when he said it. The last thing he told Nigerians. But he don't want to be like he's betraying his principle. He backed out. These are people who have this what we are telling you, that if you keep saying that this guy don't have momentum, or now make we leave him like that, he go change. Nigeria is a divided country. We need somebody to hold us together. My brother, Nigerians are ready. I can promise you that we come in 2027, we will still have this type of people stay in that power. They won't come, they won't do anything for us. Nigerians will keep trying.
Dan, let me ask you this. Let me ask you. You just said what Sid is saying is let's go by what you always talk about, revolution. Let's say, for argument's sake, that is what Sowore wants to go by. He still has to build momentum. Don't you think so?
Excuse me, Sowore has built enough momentum. There are a lot of people. A lot
you
of people.
Think so?
The people who don't like Sowore are the people who think that Sowore is a small boy.
Okay, if he has built a lot of,
no, we hear from people like you now.
Let's give it to that. Let's give it to that.
I don't hate Sowore. I don't hate Sowore. I think he's doing. Listen. That's why he didn't listen to me. Me personally, I don't hate Sowore.
You people don't give him a chance.
What does it mean by giving him a chance? He has shared his message, and I looked at all the candidates, and I feel that his message does not resonate in certain areas, and we all have the right to make a choice. And so if we don't choose a Sowore, doesn't mean that he's a bad candidate. It doesn't mean that. It just means that maybe for one or two reasons, I may not feel he's the best candidate for this particular job. So, but what I'm trying to say is that A Sowore has a party, and I believe that the backers of Sowore, the supporters of Sowore, should begin to rally around his party and begin to do that grassroots mobilization of messaging anti-corruption, of messaging. You see, this thing about messaging, sometimes we think it's by shaking the ground. No, sometimes you can be an activist, but you get guys that can release your message. It's very important. And it's not because people are illiterate or not illiterate. No, messaging must cut across every cadre of society.
2019, excuse me, because I want to just give you a good argument here. No, nothing personal.
It's okay.
2019, Sowore went around almost the whole 36 states. I don't know whether you followed him.
Yes,
because when people say that Sowore is not getting to the grassroots, I just keep wondering, how do you mean? What
okay.
I'm saying,
I didn't say he's not getting to the grassroots. I'm saying it's just like when people criticized Peter Obi and said his message is not getting to the north through the transistor radios. You know, when Atiku said that, the man had to rethink his strategy for the north. It's not that Peter Obi went around the north. He went around Nigeria almost how many times? But messaging is a different business. You can go around, but your message needs to trickle in. And that's what I'm saying.
What again do you want Sowore to say?
Not him. You see, that's the problem. It doesn't have to be Sowore.
It was not working alone, brother. Sowore had many people who were going around in their own.
These many people is what, that's why I'm saying, at the end of the day, Sowore's message, for most of us, we have heard it. And then we juxtapose it with other people's messages.
And you think that somebody who has a better message than Sowore in this condition of Nigeria today?
Yeah, I feel Peter Obi's message has an edge.
Okay, where is Peter Obi today?
He's ahead of Sowore.
Okay.
He's currently ahead of Sowore.
And where is he? What impact is he making?
He's making more impact. He's actually making more impact than Sowore. And it's very clear.
I wish him well.
Yeah. So
Rudolph has promised to bring gentlemen.
For me, I'm saying, if you are a Sowore backer,
I wish him well. I'm not only Sowore's backer. I believe that Sowore's idea is the only thing that will liberate Nigeria. That's all.
I don't think so. You can't say
gentlemen, Rudolph has promised to bring.
It's not the only thing.
See, hold on 1 second. Rudolph has promised to bring Sowore on this platform, and I think the day it will come, a lot of people will have questions for him.
We love Sowore. At the end of the day, we love him. He's a Nigerian. He has rights to contest.
Before I ask the last question, gentlemen, let me allow CM to weigh into this brotherhood versus the Obi. I don't know if he was listening to the guest that we had earlier. Then I'm going to ask, because there's a key thing we've highlighted it, but we need to beat on it, which is INEC. And the ruling party has control of INEC, whether we like it or not. And for the fact that they have control of INEC, you know what happened? So it has to be addressed. Here, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Electricity, and the rest of the people on the panel. Before I even say anything, who are the brotherhood? Because just for
okay,
I know I've had of obedience. People that follow Peter Obi's philosophy.
Let me highlight something for you. This is the brotherhood. Look at them shaking hands. Can you see here?
Okay, you said this brother. This Peter Obi and the Atiku.
Yeah.
So when you say okay, Peter Obi and the Atiku brotherhood, then Peter Obi is part of Obedient now. Obedient, are they not the followers of Obi's ideology?
No, this picture is recent, okay? Yes. I think it was this week or last week. Remember, they could not work together in 2023. Peter Obi left PDP and went to a Labour Party. Now they want to form as allegedly. Let's put allegedly there, because none of them are really come out. The speaker that came on board didn't say this is what they said, this is what they did not say. So we have to put out the truth there. But
picture, they say, speaks 1,000 words. You will know that yourself. CM, you've read a lot of books. They couldn't work together in 2023.
No, the thing is, I'm seeing something like, if you ask me, let me approach it this way. I'm seeing something like a regret. This is my own opinion.
What do you
But
mean regret from who?
who is regretting? Atiku.
Exactly. Please.
Atiku, and
How?
I'll explain it because I know people
Please
will.
do.
I want people to counter me.
Or else they're going to bite your head off.
You see, one. This, when I read this, you see, when I read this book about Jonathan, in it, on page, one of the pages, if I have it very well, I think on page 15, he made a quotation verbatim of what Alhaji Ali Keita of PDP said, that they will make the government of Jonathan ungovernable if he wins in 2015. For what reason? That the power should go to the north based on zoning. It's here, page 15, that the power should go to the north. So power went to the north. That was why the likes of Atiku that were in PDP, the likes of Muazu Babangida Aliyu, Busola Saraki, they were in PDP. They left as new PDP to go and make sure that power returned to the north with Buhari. That being this is the role Atiku played. Anti-party left his party and was campaigning for APC to make sure that the thing gets there. So when it came to 2023, after 8 years, based on zoning with PDP, it should come to the south. Why then did Atiku contest? Do you see it? That is the regret. Ordinarily, there was this thing going round because I investigated it. That, Atiku, it was Wike that made Peter Obi to leave PDP because Wike want to contest. Yes, Wike want to contest, but that is not the reason. And then to placate Atiku, they said, Atiku said, if this thing should go to Southeast, I won't contest. That is the lie from the pit of hell. Atiku never made that statement. A journalist went to interview Atiku one-on-one. Are you willing? Atiku said no. That he will contest. They're throwing it open. So it is a regret for him now because he has lost his base. Atiku's political base as far as amassing vote is concerned, the Southeast, followed by South-South. What I'm asking, somebody can go and check me out. Atiku is from Adamawa State, yes, Northeast. But he makes more votes with PDP anytime he contests in the Southeast than in the Northeast. Ordinarily, Tinubu can tell you, even if I don't win in Nigeria, I have my base. Atiku's political base, he takes Ndi Igbo, Southeast for granted. Every time, we give him more votes than the whole of Southeast gives him, Northeast. Followed by South-South that we join the Niger Delta, pack votes and give PDP because of Atiku. Now Atiku has lost it because of Peter Obi left and then the thing crashed. Forget about the rigging. So it's a regret. He could have been relevant if he had insisted.
See, I'm sorry for interjecting you. You said regret. Sorry for interjecting. Okay, Atiku has been vice president 2 times, so he cannot be vice president again. So yes, he has to be president. If it's regrets,
yes,
and we're just having an imaginary whatever. Let's say this is what they discuss. Let's say I apologize to Obi. Oh, I am sorry. I should have allowed you. I shouldn't have allowed you to go. I should have allow you to be the vice presidential candidate for PDP. How will it play out?
Obi cannot accept that. Obi cannot accept that.
Sorry, president of PDP, not vice president.
Okay, yes.
President of PDP. Apologies for that. Yes. President of PDP. Yeah. So how will it play now with these regrets? Will he now throw all his support to Peter Obi and his supporter to Labour Party? Or is it the case that Peter Obi will relocate his address back to PDP?
Well, to me, the way it should support, the way it should be is, as a person, I wouldn't advise Peter Obi to leave Labour Party. Do you understand why? Because, do you know why? Going back to PDP is to go and give PDP the credibility which they no longer possess. I'm telling you, Peter Obi left. Then where is PDP today? Wike versus Atiku. It's crashed. That's why I told you that anytime Atiku is contesting, go and check the record. Atiku only has a zone in the bag, which is not his zone. His zone is northeast. But whenever he's contesting, he only hopes that at least southeast is there for me to take. Since 1999, PDP has been doing this. So now that Peter Obi, that's why people are saying the zone that has been sustaining PDP since 1999, when it is now, you give them opportunity for them to field the presidential candidate, you deprive them. That's why people are now laughing at Ndibo. Say, you see it? You've been voting. Vote APC, we say no, we remain in PDP. So when it is now, okay, the PDP now, the South House has heard it. Go and ask Jonathan, the vote he got from the whole of Niger Delta, can he compare to Southeast? Go and check the record. The Southwest has had it. Obasanjo depended on Southeast, and the mass vote lost in the Southwest. So now that it comes down south, naturally it should go to that zone PDP. Atiku was instrumental in scuttling it together with Wike, and you are telling Peter Obi to go back there and give them credibility. Rather than Peter Obi go back to PDP, let him resign from politics. It is honorable. Rather than Peter Obi leave Labour Party to go to... Look, people are telling Peter Obi, go and form a new party even. It is better. Don't go back to PDP. For what? For what?
CM,
Yes,
don't be surprised.
yes.
You know Nigerian politics, anything can happen.
Of course, I know. Yes, I do.
There's a Nigeria is a big humble person. Nigeria go humble here, no go.
well, it depends on your longer throat. It depends on how it depends on the length of your throat.
Now, this is the last question. Oh, sorry, CM. Let me put this question to you, gentlemen. Then you know how this is it. The ruling party, the constitution, gives the president the sole power to appoint INEC chairman. Besides, the senators or the house, the chamber, are the one to what? To do the what? The vetting process and questioning and whatever English word they are using it. This one stands on the mandate of Tinubu. On his mandate, they stand. How do we navigate? How do Nigerian citizens, concerned Nigerian citizens, navigate this issue of INEC not repeating itself again? Mahmoud is still the INEC chairman. Nothing has happened.
Anyway,
so,
I don't want to monopolize the system. Let others
this is the elephant.
Then I will come in.
This is the elephant in the house. So let's deal with it now. Because whether Peter Obi and Atiku comes together or Sowore this and that, INEC is still the determining factor at the end of the day.
Yes, I'll just go because I need to run.
All right.
Okay.
I think there's no gainsaying that at the end of the day, the man that is controlling the pause, he will control whoever is going to be there. Currently now, there's no issue with him and Yakubu. So if he wants to make a change for a change's sake, he has to put a man that understands that system and knows that man will play to his tune. So like I said earlier, we are working from the Supreme Court. We have to work with the Supreme Court judgment. And if you work with the Supreme Court judgment as it stands now, you realize that there's no need for IREV. Whatever happens on IREV is irrelevant. What is relevant is what happens at the collation center. The collation center is king because we realized that the polling unit that was supposed to be king with the beavers, when results came to collation center, they changed. And it was at those collation centers that the magic happened, which was supposed to be neutralized based on what they told us. So we can't trust INEC, but we trust that Tinubu will put his man, or we cause his man to be sustained there. So for Nigerians, there must be a push on the constitution or on the electoral reform to really spell out, especially in the areas of usage of electronic voting system. It needs to be very clear in the Electoral Act, not in the because after the Electoral Act, INEC creates what is called the they bring out the procedures. No, we don't want it in the procedures. It needs to be in the Electoral Act, clearly saying that beavers and IREV is where results will be determined. Since those things are not in the Electoral Act and it's a discretion of INEC, so that discretion is where they used as a loophole to tell us that there was a glitch. And so based on that, they will move by discretion. So the political parties must rethink their strategy and say, if we go in 2027 with the same status quo, then the results will be even worse. Why I say worse, we look at the situation of Imo State and how the results were even printed before it came to the polling unit. They had already printed. There was no election there. They just printed and everything went. So we're already seeing what is going to happen. That's a precursor. The Imo election should be a precursor to what will happen in 2027, that there's not really going to be an election. So we don't have the strength to push, because the senators and the House of Rep members are all on renewed hope mandate, and all of them are scared. The judiciary is in the pocket. All of them
Sorry, Sid. Let me add
that
to you.
will
You
not
said
happen.
we don't. Sid, hold on one second. You said we don't have the strength to push.
We
What do you
don't
mean
have.
by that?
We don't
What do you
have.
mean? Could you clarify that, please?
What I mean is that Nigerians don't have the strength for advocacy on the House of Assembly, because
Okay,
that
let me. I'm going to still
the
stop
change
you there.
of
Hold
the
on one
change
second.
of that
Hold on one second.
electoral law will
Hold on
demand
one second, Sid.
intense advocacy, and you need to start it
Sid.
now, and we have not started it at all.
Sid.
Yeah.
The political parties or their principals, they know this, yes or no? They know this issue of INEC.
Yeah, they know it.
They know it. So
Yeah.
can they not push their members?
But the question is election not a citizen issue? That's what I'm asking you.
And
Election is a
can I
citizen issue.
interject?
Okay,
I'm
go ahead,
sorry.
John Abbott. Sid,
Yeah.
I'll come back to you. Hold on one second. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, please. Because I arrived in this, I wanted to listen to. They think that they will be followers and will be advocate are good for, and they.
Oh, we lost John Abbott. John, are you there?
As
John.
long as you call Obi's name, that's what happens.
Okay, John is back. John, please don't call Obi. Don't terrorize your network if to affect your network. I see now he's gone finally.
Okay. Electricity. Please let me add this to what the last gentleman said. I mean, I can't remember your name. Your name
Dan
is not
or
showing.
Sid?
Okay.
Which one?
Okay. Dan.
Sid.
What he
Dan,
said.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah. What he said, I agree with. I agree with what he said. What I want to add is this, just to build on that. I read whatever. Going forward, at the polling unit, any election result that cannot be uploaded should be regarded as election did not take place in that polling unit. That should be the antidote. Any election result that cannot be uploaded in real time from a polling unit is regarded as election did not take place in that polling unit. We don't want our Nigeria. We are living in a .com age. We should be able to upload every result. That is why INEC was declared Tinubu president without having the whole election result from all the polling units in Nigeria before it. Yet, how can you give somebody electricity? How can you give somebody first-class honors in the university distinction that he comes tops when all the marking answer scripts of his exam you've not marked them? How is it possible? Is that not fraud? As at the time INEC was declaring Tinubu president-elect, the whole election results all over the country is not having it before him. America will conduct an election in 2024, November. Can they declare a winner without all the results from every state coming in?
Yes.
So that they know the they know the total number of votes cast.
Not all the votes got to be in.
Not all the votes. Not all the votes.
They can do that on projection.
Okay, yeah, project. Okay, yeah, and even the other one, the opponent can concede or call ahead of time and concede.
Yeah. Depends on the amounts that have come in.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's not the right example to use. But in this case,
but CM, what I want to ask you, let me ask you a question. This thing you have said, yes, it happened last time. So what I'm saying is that if status quo remains, knowing that the judiciary said that it doesn't matter about uploading if there's another glitch, which there will be. All right, there's another glitch. When that glitch happens, what will be important is what happens at the collation center. So you realize that, you realize that votes from the polling units taken to the local government collation center, it is there that it was changed. So if the judiciary of a nation has approved that, basically a politician will not care so much about what happens in the polling unit. All he cares is that the beaver's accreditation must tally with the paper accreditation. The numbers can be changed. And that's what happened.
See what you said, you have forgotten what you suggested, which I also agree. Electoral laws, or you say electoral.
And that's what I'm going to.
Or let me. So
gentlemen,
when you amend,
you've not answered the question I put to you people. Hold on one second.
When you amend it,
I wanted you to remind them your question.
When you amend the election result, you insert there that any election result not uploaded in real time is as good as it didn't take place there. So
but Yakubu is the man. Yakubu is not changed. Yakubu is going to be
the
if you say
gentlemen of the war,
if you say
gentlemen of the parliament, gentlemen in the parliament. Hold on 1 second. Sid said something about we don't have the push or the numbers about the electoral reforms or amendment, this and that. The principals, Peter Obi, Sowore, Kwakwanso, Atiku, so on and so forth, they know about this. Yes or no? It's a yes.
Yes.
So why are they not pushing their supporters?
Currently, Labour Party is already doing a work on it.
Doing a work on it?
Yes. Peter Obi's organization is doing
please, electricity, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I received a call. I'm using my phone. Like I said, the Obi supporters, some of them are very eloquent. They understand all the technical word to use. You are saying the Nigerian people, you can't have it in both ways. Nigerian people, what they need to do is to give their vote to people that they want to give their vote. They are the principle to push the agendas of Nigerian people. So for you to come and say that the Nigerian people or the citizens are not pushing, how did they push? They push through voting and pushed through the people that are principal of the party, and then they continue to echo the message of the citizen. As all Nigerians have to contest. So I don't understand that that
You push
logic
through
of.
advocacy. You advocate. You go to you put a bill to advocate in the Senate. You can do it as a citizen. You see, you need to understand that.
Yes, but who is the principle that we push the agendas of the people?
You don't need a principle to do it, and that's what I'm saying. You as a citizen can move to your senatorial, your senator in your senatorial district and push it. You can.
So the people someone that has the influence to have 6 million vote that the local people give to them, they cannot push, or
that means
the
to me. He's already doing it. He's
who
already
is doing it?
Peter Obi is setting up his team that is pushing through.
And
so,
when you
but
go
you
to
can create advocacy yourself.
Okay,
you don't need anybody to create advocacy. And that's what Nigerians must learn, to create advocacy. Advocacy is different.
Okay. Now going back to the issue of who have a regret. I think if we're all going to be honest, both of them should have a regret, and who initiate the visit should be the one that have more regret. So if I don't have a regret, I will not come to you. If you have a regret, you will come to me. And if I want to be honest, is that all of them denied themselves or each other of the presidency. That depends on how you want to be partial or how you want to be your judgment or your view about it. It's either you say that, oh, Peter Obi caused PDP to lose the party, lose the election because he cut out, or you can say that Atiku could have allowed Peter Obi to be or he shouldn't even have contest according to the zoning that made them to lose. So it depends on where you are coming from. But end of the day, the Nigerian people have seen that there is no difference between Peter Obi or Atiku. You can give him all the credit you want to. I know they are dying out, but the issue is that sometimes it's good to hear from those that have a different view from you. That the people that criticize you doesn't necessarily mean they are your enemy. It's just about they have a different view and they have their own way of looking at things. So the Nigerian as it is right now, we talk about messaging from Sowore. I believe that if he have to change his strategy, which I'm seeing in some of his way going around gingering the base, I mean the grassroots. I've seen some of his move. I think he's listening to some of those that people tell him go energize the base. It's okay to be on the internet and all of that, but it takes more than that to go to the grassroots and start your campaign, go around. Because if the father you visit Borno State or you visit Sokoto and you go to the capital or even any local government there, does not mean that you have enough grassroots to push your message around. I can take that, but the other way is that Nigerians do not need all those sweet talk that you guys think that is what changed a movement in Nigeria. You have to be more radical. Power is not just giving, power is taking. These people are too soft for the system we have right now to make any change. They are all part of the system. So we need somebody fresh. If we cannot take Sowore to go, and if it's between Peter Obi and Atiku again, Nigerians will be more depressed in coming election.
How many local governments under a free and fair election can Sowore win? How many local governments under free and fair?
I'm not saying you will win.
How many? Because as a politician, you should have a base anywhere, even if it's governorship. As a politician, you must have a base. How many local governments out of 774 under a free and fair election can Sowore say, I beat my chest, I'm going to win? Not state, you are not talking of state. Local government, how many can he win? By the way, talking of Sowore was on the ballot in 2019. He was rigged out. Did he go on the street? Sowore was on the ballot 2019. He was on the ballot. So if you have a ballot paper 2019, you will see Sowore's AAA there, which means if you vote AA or AAC or whatever it is, you are voting for Sowore. Sowore was a presidential candidate. 2019, he was rigged out. What did Sowore do? He
What
went home
what do you
and
mean by
slept.
ringed out? What do you mean by
Of
ringed
course,
out?
of course. Now he said it. He said he was rigged out. It was select. He because he didn't he condemned the result release. Go and look at his press release.
Okay.
He said
You
ANC
see,
did not believe in that it was massive rigging. So when you were rigged out in an election that you contested, what did you do? What did Sowore do? Was
Okay,
Sowore
let
on the
us
street?
answer you now. Let us answer you what you
okay.
think.
So I've
Before
been
you
on the
answer,
street.
well,
I'll see you
hold
guys
on one
later.
second. Before you answer, I need to give the gentleman I speak the truth the floor. Then we will come to this issue that I highlighted, which also Sid also mentioned, because I want to put this issue in a different dimension. Remember, I've always been talking about Section 68 and Section 110, where they should start to invoke that section. So I speak the truth. The floor is yours, please.
All right, thank you. I came on because I was listening to Dan and Sig, and right before CM came on, and how low is the bar that we give, expectations for the performance of our politicians? Because while I agree with Dan that a person like Sowore would be a viable candidate for president, we know that he doesn't have the numbers, unfortunately. But then, in a normal country, in a place where things run, I think a person like Sig at this point should be ashamed of associating with Peter Obi. I've always had my reservations of him, and people always, I've been on this platform, I'd say at least 10, 12 times now, and people get at me when I say he's just more of the same of the politicians. When you go so low that you are associating with one of the most notorious Nigerians in recent history, I think that speaks volumes of the kind of person you are. And I'm talking about Peter Obi, not you, Sid. Atiku, I would say, if you look at the annals of Nigerian history, in terms of government officials that have been accused of corruption, there's only 3 people that beat them. Those 3 people that I would say, if there was a corruption Olympics in Nigeria, the only reason he would not win a medal would be because Ibrahim Babangida, Abacha, and maybe Felix Okoti-Ebo won the medals ahead of him. Okay, so for Atiku, a notorious man that could not even come to the United States without diplomatic immunity from when Saraki was Senate president, because his actions actually led to a U.S. senator, U.S. rep, William Jefferson, I think that was his name, William Jefferson, spending 13 years in prison on account of him getting bribed by Atiku. So for Peter Obi, that you guys always come on here and you've been doing all day trying to tell us he's Mr. Integrity and he's this clean politician and he's this good guy that everybody else should fall behind, to be smiling, cheesing. I guarantee you, if there was a video instead of a picture, he probably jumped in Atiku's laps if he had the chance. That was how happy he was to be associated with such a man. So you can't come on here now and try to sell this man to us and tell us how clean he is, how he has this integrity, how he was such a good guy when he was governing Anambra. Each time I ask an OB supporter, just tell me one thing this man did. Guess what? It's like asking a Christian to explain the Trinity. They get mad. They start arguing with you. They start at homonym.
There's nobody getting mad, my brother.
No, I'm not saying you. Of course, I'm not talking about you. I'm just
Sowore
asking the OB.
has associations.
Hold on, sir.
Sowore has associations, deep associations with Tinubu.
Well, we don't know
You know,
that. We haven't seen them taking pictures
CM,
together
CM,
and
you are
hugging each
muted.
other and teasing.
we should investigate his associations with Tinubu during the Nadeko years. So
Well, sir. If you talk about, you're talking, that's like saying Mandela had associations with Gaddafi. Now that means Mandela is a terrorist. No, if they were fighting during Nadeko to free Nigeria and get us democracy, that's different from two politicians coming
or he
together.
partnered with them in
Sir, hold on, sir, let me
He
finish.
partnered with them in
Sir, let me
2015.
finish.
He partnered with them in
Sir,
2015.
let me finish. I was making a
Partnered with
statement.
APC in 2015.
But
So we cannot break
that
records.
is fine and dandy, but let me finish. So if you are comparing a fight for democracy with an alliance to come together politically to take government and rule, that's like comparing apples and oranges. It doesn't even gel. So you can't say he partnered during a fight for democracy.
Let me give you the answer you need from an Obi supporter, so that from today onwards, today is the 18th May 2024, by the UK time, 2:35 p.m. So note it down. Peter Obi was the governor of Anambra State, voted for Anambra people. He owes his allegiance as a governor to the people of Anambra State, or the voters, because not everybody that voted for him in Anambra come from Anambra State. Now, did Peter Obi perform? Yes. He met Anambra on WAEC League table, position 26. He moved Anambra to position 1, 3 consecutive years. Education is important to Anambra people, and we gave him 1,000,000% for that. On that alone, we are happy. On that alone,
let me
Anambra
ask you.
people, it's okay for. No, listen. It's okay for us. I want
you
you to know
interrupted me, so you interrupted me.
It's okay. It's okay. This is okay. Peter Obi was not president
But that's
of Nigeria.
fine for you. And remember how I CM, how I
the only
started
people that
off.
can judge Peter Obi. Hey, listen, I will give you time. The only people that can judge Peter Obi as governor are the people in that state that voted for him. These are the people he owes allegiance. It does not matter if somebody who is not from Anambra State or who did not vote for him, who is living in Boruno, will be judging Peter Obi in Anambra State. Go and ask the people of Anambra State. You voted for this man. He took you from position 26 on White League table to position 1. Are you happy?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hold on, Dan. Let me tell you why I say that's all nonsense and it's hypocritical. I'll tell you that everything you said, without due respect, is rubbish. Okay, so I'll tell you what. If you go back, everything is still there on social media. You know what all Peter Obi supporters started doing? Forgetting that people could screenshot them. They criticized this man during his tenure as governor. He's all over social media, but when they decided, like you, to support him and back him for whatever reason, they started going back, editing their statements, deleting them, after complaining to us that he was the worst governor that ruled Anambra. Yeah, you know, he might have been good to certain people. Well, let me finish. So
you are talking a bigger rubbish, because Peter
I am
Obi
talking rubbish. So let me finish.
The whole Nigeria, Nigerian senators voted Peter Obi the best governor from 1999 to 2019. Peter Obi holds the record.
Good. Anybody can give anybody an award.
So the nonsense we are speaking, you say you speak the truth. Change it or you speak falsehood. That's what you should write. I don't even know you wear this type of Taliban type of intimidation, Taliban type of.
Right, so that's good. Like
degrading and dehumanizing. Very degrading and dehumanizing. You should be in Gaza. You should go and help the people of Gaza. Since you want to profess your religion,
that's
go and
cool.
help the people of Gaza. You don't even know Peter Obi. Have you been to Anambra State?
Can I finish? Why is it that you guys?
You are talking a lot of rubbish. I thought you are.
This is what I told you. See, this is what I told you. I said, when you say anything and you just mess up Peter Obi, they start getting mad.
People like you, you can't even, you reason through your posterior. How dare you say that somebody who moves somebody from 26 to 20? Do you know what education means to Anambra people?
let me
Do you know
finish.
that's why
So,
we are taking pay
so
first?
CM,
And it's fucking rubbish.
electricity. Are you gonna let me
You
talk? I
you see,
can't like I can't do
you
this.
take your data from internet, go to Anambra and meet people.
Gentlemen,
Anybody can change his name. Do you know? I'm coming. Anybody can change his name to anything and then comment on
I
internet.
decided not.
That
I
is the issue.
decided not to.
So any comment you see on the internet, I don't regard it. It might not be real. People can falsify names and use their name to comment. You can be a Musa when you are from a when you are a German. You can put your name as if you are a Musa. So go to Anambra and interview people.
Are you gonna
You are so shallow.
let me?
You are so
me?
shallow.
Listen,
How educated are you?
I'm
You are
not
down to
educated. I
shallow.
dropped out in the third
I
grade.
don't know.
So
You are down to you see, you're operating from a position of ignorance.
can you just mute
I'm
this
trying
guy?
to
Like,
mute you. I don't know why I can't mute you. CM. I don't want us to be personal, please.
It's all right. Let him.
Something that
Listen, it is always
no.
expected. Every
Let's
time,
address the argument, not the person, please. I decided
every
to
time
keep
you say
quiet because
anything about Obi, they
speak
get
the truth.
mad. They
Hold on
say
one
all this
second.
one.
Hold on one second, please. We've been having a good conversation. I'm a moderator, which I don't like to interject. I want guys to speak and let's apply decorum as much as we can. This is school. Every day is school day for us. It's Nigeria we're here to talk about, and we will talk about. But don't let us be personal, please. Here, don't let us. Please, let's remove anything personal. Let's address the issue. And listen, I speak the truth. I have my reservation about Peter Obi. Let me be honest with you.
I was
But
even
you
going
cannot take
somewhere.
it. Hold on one second.
Electricity
Hold on one second.
minus
Hold on one second. Hold on. But you see, you cannot take it away from him that he has been able to prove his doubters wrong in terms of his integrity, his credibility, accountability. Let's give credit or give honor to whom honor is due. That is, like I said, I have my reservation. He was governor, but did he establish governance, or was there governance after he left? These are the things we're going to argue about at the end of the day. But to take it away from him, one of the reasons why I respect him was when he was talking to the Oba of Benin. And he challenged the Oba of Benin when the Oba of Benin said he was told that he never collected a land when he was governor of Edo State, Anambra State. And he challenged the Oba and said, listen, go do your investigation. When you find out if there's anyone in my name, come back. I'm going to drop out of this presidential race. So we have reservation about everybody, but let's acknowledge when somebody's good. Okay, I'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
Electricity. Nobody's saying if we were to compare Tinubu or Atiku or Peter Obi, nobody in their right mind or in all honesty is going to say he's on the level of those men. Okay, that's not what we're saying. All I'm saying is stop whitewashing him like he's some kind of saint. Remember, I started off by saying, how low is the bar where we are not criticizing this man for being around a character like Atiku? Obviously, he didn't hear that part. He started getting mad.
Yeah,
but
you said that. Yes, yeah.
But at the same time, you cannot say you can't speak out of both sides of your mouth, and this is a problem. I know it's politicians, they do this all over the world, but it is a very, very serious problem with Nigerian politicians. He doesn't take land. Fine. He did not take all the remunerations that all these other governors are appointing to themselves. Fine. But what about, for example, the money he took from the government and invested in private companies that him and his family had an interest in? We're not going to complain about that. That is not
proof. Prove that.
What do you mean prove that? Anyway,
yes. You can't just make a statement when the man has actually said, go and prove it.
What do you mean proof? If the man himself, hold on, sir.
Proof is proof.
Hold on, sir. If the man himself tried to explain away that incident, and I posted a link on this same panel severally twice, because everybody came, people 2 other people came just like you saying, prove it. And I brought it with Peter Obi himself saying, well, this was the reason why I did it. So you cannot say prove it when the incident occurred. Are you trying to tell us, hold on,
Okay.
are you trying to tell us that Peter Obi never took government? Hold on, sir, I haven't asked a question.
Nobody's talking.
Are you
Just keep
trying to
talking.
tell us that Peter Obi never took government funds and invested in a private company that him and his family had a financial interest in? Is that what you're trying to tell us right now?
The question is, in terms of
Sorry, so yes or no question.
Investing into a company for his state, there's nothing wrong about that.
Sir, it is a yes or no question.
So far as,
Did he invest government money in a company that him and or his family had a financial interest in? He actually said yes.
He has said,
You just said it did not happen. You said prove it. Then you
had it go. He said yes. However, gentlemen, I speak the truth. I understand where you're coming from, and that may be poor judgment on the side of Peter Obi. He didn't deny it. I think he has acted. But we need to balance it. We need to really balance it here right now. Okay. Even with that investment that he did, poor judgment, there was no evidence to suggest that whatever proceed came out of it was used on a personal basis. Is that true? I speak the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah. So we're trying to balance it here. It's a poor judgment. Anybody can fall into that poor judgment. It is a poor judgment. But if we now compare him to Atiku, to Tinubu, to every other person in terms of integrity, in terms of transparency, in terms of accountability, you will agree that it outweighs every one of them. Yes or no?
Yeah, but he said it now. That's what he said.
I did say
Okay,
that.
so,
I started.
yeah,
I've
so
always said that. But
we agree on
electricity.
that.
This is my position. This is my position.
Before you
Whatever
go ahead,
is.
I need to hold on. Somebody highlighted something that I'm biased. Please, I don't want to bias. Don't let us be personal, please.
I never
No
did.
insult.
No, ignore that Oscar
I
Blackbone,
speak
whoever
the
he
truth.
is. He's
I speak the
always
truth.
trying to get my attention. You can rewind it. I don't do at home
I
names. I
speak the
don't do
truth.
personal
I'm not
attacks.
saying you.
I
I'm
didn't.
not. I'm addressing
Yeah,
everybody
just
right
ignore that individual.
Please
You told me I'm
don't.
saying load of rubbish. Go and listen to what you
Oh,
told about
CMO.
me.
Yeah, forget that one. And forget about that. Is not why we are here.
Yeah, let's continue with this conversation. So,
Okay,
I want to
gentlemen.
answer your
let me
question. Remember, you asked a question. They went away from the
Yeah,
question.
you went away with it. I'll come to you, Dan. You're a very patient person. CM, you know what we're gonna do? Give CM the floor for 5 minutes. Make your argument. We'll come to I speak the truth. We go to seed, then we go to revolution.
The argument I want to make is this. One, if anybody says Peter Obi invested Anambra State money on his company or anywhere he has interest, before I react to that, because I want to speak about it, the person must mention the name of the business. ABC Nigeria Limited or CCCC, mention the name and the registered address.
But Peter Obi acknowledged now.
You see how uncivilized you are.
Revolution, hold on. let the man speak. Okay, go ahead, CM, please. Dan, hold on. Go ahead, CM. CM, your blood is too hot.
Yes.
Relax.
Exactly.
Have you showered? No, CM. Have you showered this morning? Your blood is hot.
So that is that is my condition for reacting to such inanity. Until you give me the particulars of the company, where the company is registered, social address, then I react. Apart from that, it only exists in the wind. I haven't come to operate from the position of ignorance. If Peter Obi was bad, if Peter Obi hasn't got integrity or character or anything he's claiming, 1999 we started our political dispensation. Nigerian journalists, NUJ, spanning every part of Nigeria, voted Peter Obi the governor of the first 20 years of political dispensation in Nigeria in
Oh, God.
2019. That's one. It's a fact. Number two, EFCC released 52 names of former governors that had case to clear with it. Peter Obi's name is missing there. EFCC is the only anti-graft only agency in Nigeria empowered to investigate cases of corruption. Empowered in the sense that they have the resources, they are trained. If you bring somebody for me to investigate, I don't have the skill. Andrew, you know this in the UK or in the Europe, they say you have to have the skill. I don't have the skill. EFCC do. So if you want to investigate corruption, you go to EFCC. Peter Obi's name was submitted by political opponents in Anambra. EFCC did everything, nothing. They said they found nothing on this man. So who is that imbecile that we go to one platform and be talking Peter Obi is not this, Peter Obi is like Atiku, Peter Obi is like this?
Yeah,
What
use a
arrant
much
nonsense.
matured word now. Don't use all this
It
bad
doesn't.
words.
No. This. I know. If I have a harder one, I will use that because it's
But
running
it's not
somebody's
nice. There are
character.
people
Let me
listening.
tell you. Let me tell you why I use it. I will tell you why. In life, if you lose money, you lost nothing because you can recoup your money, or people can gather the money and give you back. If you lose your health, you've lost something because you could be using a wheelchair as a result of an accident. You've lost something out of your health, or you could be suffering from diabetes or cancer. Even when you are living, you've lost something. But if you lose character, you've lost everything. Character is the most important thing you have to preserve in life. That is you. So for you to use all your years of life to build a good character, and somebody will go to one without baseless, no evidence. These are the facts. As long as EFCC investigated you and did not even find anything on you, why are you still tagging the person? 52 lists were released. Peter Obi's name was missing there. And yet people are still telling me Peter Obi is claiming. Have you heard since 1960 a politician in Nigeria telling you, don't investigate, if you see anything, announce it, I will stop? Did anybody do it today? Has anybody done that? And yet, because it's Peter, the people with them, somebody will just come and, out of ignorance, morbid, debilitating, pathetic ignorance, we just be going around the platform and saying, when Peter Obi talks, the man is gold. That's why people look at him. In a country like Nigeria, Peter Obi is gold. Very, very gold. That's why he maintains his integrity. He has it. He has proved it. He challenged you. If you have, go and tender it to EFCC. Don't even go to Peter Obi. Forward your evidence to EFCC. Say this man should be arrested, tried for this, or investigated. Go and do it. Than to come to one platform and then be talking nonsense from the both sides of your mouth. What you know, saying so many words, but in the end you are not saying anything. What arrant nonsense! I hate to listen to imbeciles.
CM, you can put your facts across without
you need to
using derogatory words against anyone.
There's
no need for this, please.
Everyone
you can put your point across
to communicate.
Just the argument. Forget about the person.
What I want to.
I know. You see. Let me round on this. Yes,
wait.
I know. We all know. We all know that. I know.
I'm going to mute you. I don't want to mute you.
It's okay. It's
no,
okay.
I don't want to mute you.
I know what you are doing. It's okay. I'm saying another thing.
I need you. Please do me a favor. I respect you a lot. Please, can you retract those words, please? Please, I'm begging you.
Which of the words?
The imbecile word, the derogatory. Can you please retract it, please? Please, I'm begging you.
I retract
Thank you
that.
Thank you very much.
Now let me say this. We know
your
that
final,
a Taliban.
Your final 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah. We all know that a Taliban must live in Afghanistan. We all know this. A Taliban must live in Afghanistan.
No, a Taliban don't necessarily have to live. Some Talibans live in the UK. Some live in America. Where are you going with this now?
My brother, they talk today.
Is it when I say
gentlemen,
something?
We've had a very lovely discussion. It's 2 hours 54 minutes now.
Let me.
I will come back here again. So for if anyone has insulted you, please
No, it's cool.
I apologize on behalf of
Well, let me make my
CM, on
last
behalf of
statement.
I
Let
Speak the
me
Truth.
go.
Please, we will come back again. There's another broadcast around 5 o'clock. We will
You need to
continue
allow
this,
Dan.
please.
You need to allow Dan.
Okay, if I allow Dan, I have to allow. Okay, you know what? I'll give each of you. CM, I've used is 5 minutes. So, how did I say I was going before? Okay, I speak the truth, then Dan, then Sid will be the last person. Okay, go ahead. 5 minutes.
All right.
Please.
So
Thank you.
I'm not mad. I'm not upset. You know, I really expect this. Like I said, there's two sets of people when you ask them certain pertinent questions, instead of them explaining it or just saying, listen, I do not know how to explain this, or, you know, I think you're right that we can agree to disagree. Instead of just saying that, they just start insulting you and throwing at homonyms, and that's fine. I really don't care, because if you're trying to tell me, like I started off, the bar is low in Nigeria. That is why we seemingly cannot find a problem with what Peter Obi did. Okay, that is nepotism at its finest. This is the same problem we are about to have now with this present government, with the government awarding a bidless contract to build the coastal road that they want to build right now, and they awarded it without no bids, no outside bids, no inside bids. They just secretly awarded it to the Chagoris under a company that the president's son sits on the board of directors. So me bringing this up about Tinubu is about Peter Obi is because one of the biggest problems that we have in Nigeria is corruption. And corruption comes in different forms. You don't necessarily have to sit on at the head of the ministry and write checks to yourself. You can actually have your underlings, you can have your buddies, you can have your allies, and you can throw contracts at them, and they just fleece the government in that way. So we know it is a problem when you are in charge of something, especially in a governmental position. You do not assign projects to yourself where you or people close to you could be financially induced or gain from it. That was my whole point. But you bring this up and certain people get mad. Now back to Obi's. We've dealt with this integrity. Now it's performance. They always try to sell us this thing about how he was this wonderful governor in Anambra, even though they complained about him throughout while he was there. He's so wonderful. He didn't hold local government elections not once while he was there. He's so wonderful. We can't point to one school he built aside from the ones he gave the missionaries and handed them some money. Anambra's IGR, in 8 years, he increased it by only 1 billion naira. And this is the person you guys think that we should hand over the helm of affairs of Nigeria to, and you think there's anything new he's going to do to revamp the economy. I just don't see it. Is he good for some people? Fine.
I speak the truth. Sorry, let me
Yes, sir.
ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if not Peter Obi,
Mm-hmm.
who else? Who is the person? Can you name one? We are being realistic here now. This is a country going underground. We're being realistic here now. So we have Sowore, Kwakanso, Atiku, Peter Obi, what's this Prince name? This guy Prince, or we have Tinubu who may contest for 2027. We don't know. It's likely that Wike also will contest. We don't know. It's likely that Akmabi also will contest. We don't know. So who are you going to recommend to us now, please?
Right now, personally, I don't see anybody. But if I was to choose,
But we need somebody. We
if I
can't
was
live.
to
We
choose,
can't
I
live
would
in a
choose
vacuum.
Sowore. If I was to choose, I would choose Sowore.
You choose Sowore.
If
Okay,
I was to
fair
choose,
enough.
yes.
So he
Yeah.
said he's going to choose Sowore, not Peter.
If I
So
was to
we're
choose,
going
I
to
would.
respect that's your choice. We're going to respect your choice. Thank you for that. Dan, you have to hold on. Mazi Prince, please, I beg you. You're my own man. Mazi Prince, go ahead, please. 5 minutes. Thank you. Sorry, I apologize for keeping you.
I was gonna be pissed off if I never spoke until this ended. Because I see some people just like I was. As a matter of fact, I was just coming from you know how you go from Benin to Lagos, you know. But then I pulled over and said I was gonna speak. You know, I speak the truth. You know, for me, you have every right to support who you want to support. Okay? Not right now, the campaigns are over. Can we just think about the future? If you don't want to support Obi, it's fine. Okay? The session, even Dan, I'm really disappointed in you. Dan, I'm disappointed in you that you were expecting Obi to call for work. To call for war? Where are you? Why don't you go to Nigeria and let's start the protest? This man has done everything by the book. If Obi did not do what he did, believe you me, Nigeria would have been in war. What happened to Abiola? Abiola won the election, and people pushed him. He came to America. People pushed him and come and declare. And what happened to him later? That man went to jail and died in jail. Can we just get it? Obi has said he is not destined to be a president. If you don't want him, then go and run for you. Go and run for presidency. Can we just let this man be? God!
Prince.
Are you for now? Thank you.
Mazi Prince. Thank you for that. They are not going to let him be. Let me tell you something why they are not going to let him be. If Peter Obi wants him to let him, hold on. If Peter Obi want people to let him be, then let himself be too. Let him withdraw himself from the public.
Electricity. Electricity. He went. I know. You just said something. I'm just replying you. I've been hearing you guys talk about him meeting Atiku. Atiku was not the only person he met. He met Saraki.
He met Saraki.
He met Lamido.
He met a lot of people, but I pick Atiku.
Yes.
And I explained. If you were earlier in this, and I explained why I pick Atiku out, given to what happened in the 2023 general election, before the election. That was why I pick Atiku out. He met a lot of people. But what I'm telling you is this. If I don't want to be a moderator here, and I come here and screaming at people this and I will take myself out of being a moderator. So if you are saying people should leave Peter Obi alone, no, they won't. It's not for you to make that argument. It's for Peter Obi himself to make that argument. He came
PDP can't even keep their house. Look at Osun State yesterday. People decamped. A lot of people decamped to APC.
Mazi Prince, hold on 1 second now. Oh, see, wait. I will listen. I will yield the floor for you guys so that you can have this argument. But I have to respect each person's 5 minutes. But I'm telling what's your name? Mazi Prince. Mazi Prince, you're a panelist here. Okay. It's a choice for you to be a panelist here. Do you agree with me on that? Mazi, I'm asking you a question.
Of course, yes.
So, well, you also agree that you can withdraw yourself from being a panelist and say, you know what, I can't do this again. Do you agree with that as well?
Of course I can.
So, as long as Peter Obi keep putting himself out there, his name will be mentioned. So, I don't think you should be defending him, in my opinion. I don't think in this context you just defended him.
I'm not defending him. But let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. Okay? Campaigns are over. Can we focus on the people who are in governance and seek for a way forward? It might look like my voice is high. I'm not mad. But what I'm just saying is this. I've seen people time and time again. Each time they come here, all they want to do is to look for one thing and say, "Oh, Peter Obi did this. Peter Obi did this." Come on, people. This man only what is the crime that he brought on himself?
Mazi, you know, I actually criticized at least 5 Nigerian politicians.
Mazi Prince, I want us to put this in context. Mazi Prince, do people criticize Donald Trump today? Yes or no, please? I just want a yes or no from you.
I criticize Donald Trump, but I don't go shouting. Oh, he has a case in court. They're dealing with him over there. I don't go everywhere and say, "Oh, Trump this, Trump do that, Trump do this, Trump do that." I don't do that.
But that is you. But do you know some people do that? So let them.
That's their business.
Anyway,
please, Andrew, let me make this correction. And
well,
so that I don't want people
now. Wait, now, let's see.
Okay, talk. Please talk.
Dan, right.
No, let him talk. Let him talk.
Right.
Yeah, make I talk, please, because that is the Nigerian problem. We don't want other people to have an opinion before we chop them up. Let me tell you, you people may say that I'm not criticizing, I'm obedient. But what we are saying, the topic of today, electricity, asks one simple question. None of you answered that question. You were just going on your own personal things. He asked us what is happening in the election of electing the INEC chairman. How can we resolve that? Nobody mentioned it. We went on our own private, what is boiling in our hearts. But before I answer that question, let me just, my brother Maxi told me that he disappointed in me. Let us look at the people who many people respect today, people like Mandela. When he came to fight for South Africa, he said that he's ready to die for it. And anybody who comes as a leader trying to solve that type of problem we have in Nigeria, which is so terrible, and we tell us that he's not ready to die for Nigeria. But even just that we mention his name, some people are boiling that we mention somebody who wants to rule Nigeria. Many leaders have told us to solve Nigeria problem, if you say that you don't want to die for it, then I don't see why you should be there. I don't know why you should be there. If you say you don't want to stick your neck to solve Nigerian problem is too big for somebody to think he can just come there.
Then I'm not interrupting you. But you also believe that there is a saying, you live to fight another day.
When is that day?
You live to fight another day.
When is the
You
day?
don't just have to die once.
I agree with you. But what I'm trying to tell you, there are leaders who take it as their first step, that if need be, I'm ready to die. Peter Obi, don't forget, do you know that last election, Peter Obi won that election clearly. Nobody can argue it. He won the election. People told him, even his vice president, the guy who was Alhaji Dante, told him to let us fight for it. He refused. So when we are telling you that he shook the hand of Atiku, who caused the problem at the first stage, that is the major reason where we are here. That why should he go back to Atiku? Atiku will never become a second fiddle to Peter Obi #1. That is why we are crying. You cannot go back to Atiku. Atiku will never agree you to be below Peter Obi. We know. He disrupted the PDP's, what's the name? That division. Have you heard they talk it? Turn-by-turn system. And when he came to the eastern side, he refused to give the Igbos the chance. And that is why Peter Obi left at the first place. So I want us to stay in this conversation of today before we start trying to fight on something that we cannot solve the problem right now. So for me, I want to end by saying that Peter Obi should stand on his own, or let him give Sowore the chance to move ahead. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, to me, Dan, I'm not, like I said, I'm disappointed. It's not that I'm mad at you, but at the same time, they're all talking. I don't even think that he's going under PDP. A new party is about to be formed. Bet you.
Dan, you came up, you accused us that
the
did
floor
not
is
answer
yours.
the
Then
question.
I'll give CM. Hold on, let me ask this. Sid, before you speak, does anyone because after Sid, does anyone say? I know you said you want a few minutes. Does anyone also need a few minutes? Let me know, because after Sid, CM.
Yeah,
I
definitely will have to go after CM.
Let me just say this and
Sid. No, let's Sid finish. No, CM.
let me say my thing. You give them a few minutes.
Let's see. Let's go around.
First
Let's be
of all,
fair.
Dan, I want to correct you. The question was asked about INEC thing, and I mentioned it. I said that Tinubu will keep the status quo of Yakubu, and he will only change it if he gets somebody that will play the same ball with him. And that is why I said we need to push for advocacy. But I don't think that the Nigerians can push for advocacy to Asine to exactly change the electoral laws, because that is where we need to start talking about.
Yeah,
So
but brother, that you didn't
allow me,
answer that
allow me.
question. That was not an answer.
Dan, let him
That
finish.
question
Please.
was very clear. There's nothing going to happen. It will be status quo, and that will lead us to either push for a change in the electoral laws. Now, I want to bring something. Among all the politicians that ran elections, Peter Obi was the only person that was able to tell us dollar for dollar, money for money, what he spent in his campaign. We have not seen that from Sowore. We have not seen that from any other.
Sid,
Wait,
hold
wait,
on
wait.
1 second. There is an auditing going on in respect
Okay.
to the labor. So he hasn't said
No,
it was
no,
here and they asked him
no,
about
no.
that. There's
You
still
would
auditing going on.
divulge. You will have to. The funding that came into the Labour Party is different from the funding that came into Peter Obi Dati organization. And those are two different. Those are two different organizations. So I'm not talking about the Labour Party as a party. I'm talking about his own organization that he had control of. So he's a person that has said, "This is what I did." So what I'm trying to say is that all the political gladiators must be presenting things as to Nigerians so that we can see their character, their personalities. And I tell you, if that man has a lot of skeleton in a cupboard, like my brother here, I speak the truth, says, EFCC would have been on his neck long time ago, because that's how to take your political opponent out. You try and flush them out. But the truth is that he is not somebody that is attuned to this kind of things, because he lives a very simple life. So
not saying you're
I'm
right, but let me just ask a quick question.
No. Hold on 1 second, please.
What I want to say is this.
Let's see.
No matter how we talk from now to tomorrow, in 2027, the same gladiators will be in the ring. That is a truth. And these gladiators are the people, including Sowore, the Atikus, the Kwakwansos, and the Obis, and the current president will all be gladiators in 2027. The question is not about that. The question is not about mega structure. The question, and critical question, is the electoral laws and our judiciary. Have we done enough advocacy as citizens to push the needle so that we can be protected at the ballots? I don't think we have strength for it because of the level of poverty. The level of poverty in the land has been weaponized. So millions and millions of Nigerians are not thinking about elections. They're thinking about survival. And that means that the status quo is likely going to remain. Obi and all the guys will try to do what they can. Nigerians will try to do what they can. Questions will be asked again. Who do you want to lead in the next 4 years? But the truth is that in 4 years' time, will a Nigerian that has been beaten down economically, strangulated, like the president said, let the poor breathe, will the poor be able to even breathe enough to walk to the polls in 2027? That is a big conundrum that Nigeria has to answer.
Sid, let me ask you. I'll come to you. I'll see it. Sid, yes, I highlighted something earlier, and this is what I highlight again, not this one. There was what I like. The citizen can push for amendments on their own. I'm going to pick Peter Obi out, not because I'm against him or this and before. I'm going to use him as an example, this present moment. He has a big platform. Okay. Recently, he went about Kano State, the North
doing a borehole, Jackie Pumper, and all these things. Do you think if we focus on this change, I know you said PDP, I mean, Labour are doing something. If we push for this change among its citizens, I mean, its supporters, to push for these reforms through their constituents and preach this message, don't you think that will carry more weight, in your opinion?
I think it will carry weight, definitely, because he has followership, especially, most of his online town meetings, which he has followership. So definitely he can push it. I think you need to understand how the dynamics of the election is. First of all, it's an election that his base feels that they
No,
want.
we're not talking about the
Wait,
election. We're
wait.
talking about
Understand where
reforms.
I'm going to. Listen to my
Okay.
trajectory. I said it's an election his base feel that they won, and they were saddened. So first of all, what he needed to do was to give them hope, assurances that all will be well. Now, we now move towards opposition, where he begins to oppose government policies that he feels are not right. And some of the policies the government has actually taken a step back because his movement has created that opposition.
Can you mention
Now,
one policy that, can you mention, because I can give you two that has to do with this, has to do with the legislative and one. Remember when Tinubu wants to go to war with, is it Niger government? I mean,
yeah.
the legislators, they came together and they refused it. Two, this cyber security, I mean, cyber levy.
Levy.
They said the legislators
Yes.
came together, they pushed back on it.
Yes.
So you see how powerful they are. You see
Yes,
how
and
powerful
also
our lawmakers are.
the issue of when Tinubu was projecting with all the car issues, entourage, the pressure was on, and he tried to say, okay, I'll reduce he made some adjustment in terms
That is the people talking, not just Peter Obi talking.
Wait. But you remember that most of the people that are talking are that bandwagon of the obedient effect. So what I'm trying to say is that I agree with you. He needs to begin to advocate for electoral reforms. He needs to advocate for electoral reforms, which I believe they are doing, and citizens will push. But what I was invariably saying is that Nigerians as citizens must begin to take the initiatives. Different groups must begin to take the initiative and say, look, based on what the judiciary said, based on what happened transverse throughout these elections that we just went through, what are the lessons learned? What are the things we are seeing that the politicians have entrapped the Nigerian people? And how can we advocate? The reason why advocacy is not happening, like I told you, is that poverty has been weaponized. People are on survival mode. There's no fuel, there's no money. So people are not really thinking about electoral reforms. They feel they have been cheated out of the system and it's now survival mode. But I feel that in the coming months, by next year, after the government has done 1 year, I believe that advocacy needs to start in earnest, because I feel that we're already late. But you cannot say advocacy on empty stomach. So these are the challenges. And with Peter Obi, his opposition strategy must be, first of all, to deal with the current issues that are endangering the poor Nigerian on the street. And so before he starts progressing towards electoral reforms. But definitely he needs to speak. But I think it will
Okay.
take time.
Thank you for that. CM, the floor is yours. However, I highlighted something on the screen here. That will be the next discussion. But what I want to do with this is, okay, so they said we should focus on the current government. I mean, we should hold the current government accountable. How do we hold them? I'm going to leave the floor for
Maybe
every one of you to
I want to
go
leave
ahead.
now,
Sim.
but just want
Go
to,
ahead.
because I don't want to give any more submission, but let me make a correction, because
Okay, go ahead.
sometimes if you allow fib, lie, pathetic one to be flying for years, people assume it's truth. Somebody said Peter Obi didn't build schools. Can they show schools he built? You know, Reno Omokri carried that jazz.
Thank you
But
for that, CM.
I'm going
Actually,
to
I was
answer
supposed
it
to
now.
correct that. I was supposed to correct
Yes,
that.
I'm going to
Thank you.
supply. I'm going to answer it now. Before I say anything,
But don't use any derogatory word, please.
No,
Thank you.
I'm from Anambra State, the state Peter Obi governed. I'm from a town called Ezinifite in Agwata local government, Anambra South Senatorial District of Anambra State. Because when they say school, that's why I said, you know, I don't know how some people were educated. People believe that school must be primary school. You clear a bush, you put blocks and build a primary school. Or you clear bush and then build a secondary school. When Peter Obi came to Anambra State, he said it's on tape. Peter Obi built the Igbarian campus of Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu University. They used to have Uli campus, where former Governor Mbadinuju came from. When Peter Obi came, he sought and then built other faculties from the scratch. That is school. If that is not a school, because some people's definition, I don't know the type of elementary school they went to or nursery school. If that is not a school, another school I want to point is there's what they call medical school, a school where you train only doctors. Peter Obi built the College of Medicine of Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu University at Oka, the state capital. Peter Obi built it from the scratch and built a teaching hospital to attach to it from the scratch. Electricity, please, if that is not school, is that a mosque?
No, the records are there. Nobody can dispute.
I'm coming. So that, because of why I'm saying this is not because of it, because of people listening to this on this platform. They will say people here are maybe morons. We are not. These are schools, 2 good schools. If this is not a school, can somebody tell me what they are? College of Medicine, Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu University at Oka today in Anambra State, still existing, where they graduate MBBS students. And then the faculty, a whole campus of a big university. Igbariam is in the north, one campus. Another, that is Anambra North Senatorial District, Igbariam, that is where it is. Then the one called Uli is in the south. There are 2 different campuses of over 40 miles apart. Peter Obi built one from the scratch. Let me just give this to. I don't want to mention missionary schools, but the illiteracy in most people is that they keep dragging. Even Reno Omokri was taking $10,000.
Hold on one second. No, you finish. Just give me 1 second. I speak the truth. Do you disagree with the fact, because you said he didn't build the school or was handed to him? Do you disagree with the fact that CM just highlighted?
I mean, Two can play that game, so he don't have to give me proof.
No.
Yes. You asked me a question.
Do you disagree with the fact?
Because I disagree. He has to show me proof. Because I did say that he handed over government schools, to the best of my knowledge. I did say this, to the missionary schools. He handed them, government schools. He handed them back to the missionaries. I did say that, and he gave them money to refurbish them. So all these other things he's telling us, just like he wants proof, he's going to have to show me proof. Just simple as that.
Okay, yeah. The proof is, yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank God.
Can you direct him to where he can find it?
The way I used to, I've given the thing is, when you take your flight,
we are doing fact checking now, please.
Yes, when you take just for people that will go there, when you take your flight, you land at probably Chinua Achebe International Airport at Umueri in Anambra State. You can take a cab. Tell the cab to carry you
CM, can you point him to where he can find it on the internet? You can't go there physically. Please. He should just give him a name.
Where he can find it is Chukwuemeka, or yes, when you go on the internet, type Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu University, Igbarian campus. Peter Obi built it. You type again Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu University Teaching Hospital, COOUTH. Peter Obi built it. The College of Medicine is there. This should have been better if you can walk in there, you see it, you see the building, you see it, you talk to the students, you talk to people. When was this place built? That's how to do it. What I'm saying, Peter Obi said it, and nobody is doubting him. In fact, he said it one of his campaign. Nobody doubted him. It's only in platform you hear people, So if I say he built, it's something. It's a structure. It's not like it's not in the air. If it is not there, it's not there. But it is there. The thing is there a campus of Chukwuemeka Odimegwu Ojukwu University? Do we have a campus? Yes. Who built it? That should be the next logic. Or we don't have a campus called Ibarian campus. You can say there is no campus called Ibarian. That ends it. But if there is a campus, it wasn't built by the Holy Spirit. Somebody built it. Who built it? Under whose regime? It's as simple as that's what we're saying. So what proof then do I need to give on something that you can I mark? Not only earmark, you eye it. You go with your eye, you saw it. You will see it there. There's a campus there. So many universities in Nigeria has different campuses. In those days, they used to have a Benden State University during Ambrose Ali's time in Eboma, a campus in Abraka. You have University of Benin at Obowo. You have a Kenwan Road, another campus. True or false? It's true.
Right. Thank you, Sam. I'm taking a different approach to this. I'm going to highlight something, but I speak the truth. Don't comment. I highlight it because I want to make a comment, please. Someone said electricity, please ignore boom boom. Blah, blah. No, it's not. Let me say this. I did say where I work, we have a slogan. Every day is a school day. I don't think anyone come here, or most people come here to create unnecessary controversy. No, we come here to learn, to educate each other, to be a better person, and to see how we can change. So I don't think I Speak the Truth came here to create that controversy or to cause confusion. And that is why I had to ask him to provide him evidence where he can go check these things out. Yes, he did. Those are actually, I Speak the Truth. To be honest, it's not open for argument. I have to be honest with you. Maybe he didn't do it to your satisfaction or to someone's satisfaction, but if we're going to go against somebody's credibility, we must have facts to go to do that. If we don't have the fact, we can't do that. So facts have been provided. You can find out yourself, and you will get to see it. And like you said, we all have. Sid probably have reservation about me. Mazi Prince probably have reservation. We all have reservation about one person or the other in our lives. But we must avoid tarnishing somebody's image or credibility intentionally. And where we are corrected, I'm not saying you do it, please. Where we are pointed at it, then we have to take that correction. I Speak the Truth. You say you have something to say, then Mazi Prince, then I'll bring the broadcast to an end.
It's really hunky-dory and it's all fine and it's beautiful how he just focused on one thing. He just kept talking about the schools, forgetting willfully, obviously, that I brought up other points. He ignored the fact that Peter Obi now, did not conduct local government elections as governor. Refused to mention it. He refused to mention, even address the fact that I brought up that he could only increase Anambra's IGR in 8 years by just a little over $1 billion. Willfully ignored that and just focus on schools and focus on schools and focus on schools. But listen, what do you expect? The bar in Nigeria is so low. People, for whatever reason, and Nigerians, they'll play these games of, oh, I'm only going for him because he's not my brother, or I don't care about his religion, or I don't care about where he's from. Until we start holding these people accountable based on their actions, based on their performances, based on things they do or don't do in government and in carrying out governance, guess what? We're still gonna keep running around, complaining about the same thing, and these are the same kind of characters we're gonna keep having for eternity.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's been a wonderful time being with you. It's 2 hours, 29 minutes, so I'm going to bring this broadcast on. And there's a broadcast at 5 o'clock. Please come with your energy there. Mazi Prince, please come with your energy to that broadcast, please. I look forward to seeing you guys there. It'll be hosted by Chim and at show and the night crew, forefathers, those that fly in the night. Forefathers and his crew, I think they will take over. Where you will see Mazi Prince sleeping off after he's tired. Thank you, gentlemen, and have a lovely weekend, and God bless you.